احنا شدينا السيوف على النحور، احنا شدينا السيوف على النحور، علقينا اسمك وسام على الصدور، والجماجم نفضة تراب القبور، والجماجم نفضة تراب القبور، طلعت تدق على الوجه بالأربعين، اللي يذبحوها نحور الزائرين، يعتنيكم وقت تمشي يا حسين.
Adalat Sahaba. What is your definition of a companion? Yes? And prove your definition from the Quran and Sunnah, please.
Okay. Definition of the Sahaba is this. Basically, anyone who saw the Prophet, yeah, you know the definition yourself.
I'm asking
anyone
to let everyone know.
Anyone who saw the Prophet and he saw him and he died as a state of Muslim is a Sahabi.
Now we don't know.
Yes?
Okay.
Now, what is your
Are
definition?
they all just?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
yes.
now can you prove your definition
No,
from the Quran and Sunnah?
wait. First now, step by step. You ask me, I ask you. What is your understanding of Adala?
We don't have this concept of Adalat Sahaba that all the companions were just.
Okay. How do you think when we say that they are just, Sahaba are just, how do you think we establish that?
That's my question to you.
So you don't know?
No. I know you don't. My point is that you don't establish them from Quran and Sunnah.
Quran and Sunnah, yeah?
You don't.
We don't.
You don't.
So why do we say the other?
That's what I'm asking you.
So you don't know?
Can you prove your definition from Quran and Sunnah?
Okay.
You said they were all just.
Okay.
Everyone who saw the Prophet in a state
I'm
of
asking
Iman
if you know, yeah?
and died in that same
Okay,
state.
so you know.
You said is a just companion.
I'm saying, do you know yes or no?
I'm asking you to produce your evidence from Quran and Sunnah.
Do you know yes or no?
What?
That they were ad.
No, I say they don't. I said they're not.
They're not ad, yeah?
I'm saying they're not. No, I'm saying they're not.
Except who? Except who
According to our definition of Quran of Sahaba, it said we don't give a strict definition like this. We're saying anyone who lived with the Prophet, loved him, fought in battles with him, gave bay'ah under the tree, for example, did not run away from wars, stayed loyal to them after his death. This is our definition. We don't give your kind of definition. Now you said they were all just.
So
I'm going to prove.
Abu Bakr fall into that?
Stick to consistency.
No,
prove your definition of Quran and Sunnah.
You said anyone. Wait. You said anyone who get bay'ah under the tree, anyone who done jihad.
Across all of them.
Anyone
not
who
just
didn't
one.
run away from the battlefield.
Not just one. All of them.
Okay, all of them.
But my point is
now. No. I'm not. Let's stick to those conditions that you gave, because it's very important that you now have to agree with me, because all those conditions that you mentioned, I would say that's very interesting. Does Abu Bakr fall into that, yes or no?
No, because he ran away from wars, for example.
But
and he raises voices about the Prophet. That's also one condition.
Right, okay.
Surah 49
so
verse
now
2.
you're saying there's exceptions.
Now we're going to Quran and Sunnah. No, I didn't. I didn't say. I said every single one should be satisfied.
Okay.
Can you prove your definition from Quran and Sunnah, please?
Yes, I can.
Go.
Yes, I can. Okay.
Bismillah. And then I'll prove my definition from Quran and Sunnah.
First. Do you think exceptions take? Are you saying that exceptions of Adala takes away the concept?
I don't understand your question. Can you say it again?
I'm saying, if we claim from the Quran, from the Sunnah, and from reason that the Sahaba were udul, all of them, yeah? If there were exceptions...
We don't accept this concept. We don't say they were all just.
Okay, that's fine. So you want to know how we substantiate that, yeah?
You gave your definition.
Yes.
Prove your definition from Quran and Sunnah.
Now let me explain to you.
And I'll prove my definition from Quran and Sunnah.
No problem. We say in Al-Sunnah that all the Sahaba who died upon Islam, who met Muhammad sallallahu they were udul. Why? Because number one, Quran. Number two, the Sunnah. Number three, from reason. Just from reason itself, we know they were adl. Why do we say this? We have many ayat. For example, Surah Tawbah.
I would like to go for
verse.
one.
Okay, that's fine. Verse 100, chapter chapter 9, verse 100. When Allah says, وَسَابِقُونَ أَوْلَى مِنَ الْمُهَاجِرِينَ وَالْأَنصَارِ وَاتَّبَعُوهُم بِإِحْسَانٍ وَأَعَدَّ لَهُم جَنَّاتٍ فِي تَجْرِي تَحْتِهَا الْأَنْهَارُ. Allah says,
Translate, please.
okay, that's fine. Let's read them.
Go back, give him some space.
Just for example, Surah Tawbah, Allah says, for example, Allah says, وَالسَّابِقُونَ أَوْلَى مِنَ الْمُهَاجِرِينَ وَالْأَنصَارِ وَالَّذِينَ اتَّبَعُوهُم بِإِحْسَانٍ رَضِيَ اللَّهُ عَنْهُمْ وَرَضُوا عَنْهُ وَأَعَدَّ لَهُم جَنَّاتٍ تَجْرِي تَحْتَ الْأَنْهَارِ خَالِدِينَ فِيهَا أَبَدًا ذَلِكَ الْفَوْزُ الْعَظِيمُ. Okay? And the first who embraced Islam, and the Muhajirun and Ansar, and those who helped them and aided them, and also those who follow them. Yeah, Allah is pleased with them, He is pleased with them, and He has prepared gardens of paradise for them. There's one. Many, for example.
What do you extrapolate from that verse?
This is Muhajirin and Ansar.
Every single one who was a Muhajir and Ansar is
yes.
just...
This is general.
General.
Yes,
Can you read the following verse? Can you read the following verse?
That's fine. Yes, I know. Listen, these ayat...
Can you read the following verse?
Wait,
the following verse, please.
Okay, let's read it. No problem.
And from among you, those are round about you of the dwellers of the desert are hypocrites.
Yes.
And from among the people of Medina, they are stubborn in hypocrisy. You do not know them. We know them. We shall chastise them twice. Then they shall then be turned back to a grievous chastisement.
Okay.
So your own ayat went against you in this regard.
Again, 17. Allah has forgiven the Muhajirun who left their home, who came to Medina, Ansar, followed him in the time of
What
distress.
verse is this?
Tabuk. This is Surah 9, 117.
I'm responding to your current ayat, 100.
That's fine. I'm giving another one.
I'll respond to my one.
So Allah is saying that He forgave those
Who?
Muhajirin wa Ansar who did hijrah with Muhammad sallallahu.
That wasn't my point.
Generally.
I said there were hypocrites
No, I
amongst
know.
them.
Okay, that's fine.
So that's not a refutation of my point.
Now, let's agree to this. These ayat that you mentioned, I mentioned. You mentioned the hypocrites. I mentioned the ones who Allah is pleased with. Are they general, yes or no?
In what
Are
regard?
they general, yes or no?
In what regard?
I'm saying they don't mention specific names, yes?
No. Yeah, it's general.
Okay. So we cannot then establish as Sunnis.
Carry on with your position. I was just giving one ayat.
I'm getting it. Relax.
Carry on with your
I'm
position.
saying that as Sunnis, this is very clear that we don't establish the ad only from the Quran, isn't it? Because when Allah talks about His reward,
Quran and Sunnah, I said.
yes, Allah. So it's not.
I'm allowing you to. I'm not going to
it's
speak.
not-
I apologize. I shouldn't have
it's
interrupted
not
you.
just
I'll allow you
about-
to speak.
It's just not from the Quran that we establish the adl. We establish it from the Sunnah and from reason. Sunnah.
You
We
finished with the
have.
Quran?
We have. Huh?
Are you finished with the Quran?
No, I'm saying Quran is general. You know, in Ilm Rijal, let me give you something about Ilm Rijal.
Quran and Sunnah, I said.
Listen.
Can we agree that you can prove these definitions of Quran and Sunnah?
I'm explaining to you. In Ilm Rijal in Ahl Sunnah, we have a concept called Tawfiq Am, Tawfiq Khas. You know the difference?
No.
Do you know what I mean?
I'm allowing you to establish your position.
Okay.
I'm not going to.
Tawfiq Am means general praise. Tawfiq Khas means specific praise. When we say that Muawiyah, for example, is adl, do you think we get that from Tawfiq Am or Tawfiq Khas?
I'm allowing you to establish your definition from Quran and Sunnah.
Okay,
I'm
no,
not
but-
going to speak until
but-
then.
Because listen,
I would like you to establish your position.
Muawiyah, listen, Zain. If you make a claim, it's only fair that you at least know what you're talking about. You
That's fine.
understand?
I said
So-
establish your
so
definition from Quran and Sunnah.
I'm
Are you
asking
finished?
I'm just asking, do you know yes or no?
I'm going to establish my position in due time, and I'm going to take my time.
Right.
So that's why I'm giving you the
So,
opportunity to do first
so
as
do
well.
you know how we establish his adl? Do you know how?
I'm allowing you to establish your position from Quran and Sunnah. Are you finished?
Do you have a difficulty answering my question? Do you know yes or
I
no?
would
Yes or
like
how?
you to establish your position from Quran and Sunnah. I'm giving you the time to.
I'm asking you a question. When we say that Muawiyah is adl, do you think he's Tawfiq Am or Tawfiq Khas?
I'm not sure of those terms which you were mentioning. But
General
like I said, I'm not
Tawfiq-
going to a specific individual. I said prove your definition from Quran and Sunnah. I'm
okay.
allowing you to prove your definition.
Okay, so you
said that
answer
they
my
were all
question.
just.
Okay, so you answer my
Listen,
question.
this is how the discussion works.
It's very important,
You made
you
a
know
claim.
why?
You made a claim. They
You
were
know-
all
you
just.
know why it's
I
important?
never made a claim.
No.
Prove
Wait,
your
wait.
claim.
Listen,
That's my only
it's
point.
very important because
made a
I'm-
claim, prove your
I'm,
claim.
I'm asking you a very simple question. When we say Muawiyah is adl, he is just, is it from Tawfiq Am or Tawfiq Khas? General praise or specific praise? I'm asking you a simple question. How do you think we establish his adl?
I don't want to go into too many divergence. I made a claim. I'm going to prove my
You're
claim.
making a claim that he was a kafir. He
No,
was
no,
a
no.
munafiq.
I haven't said that yet.
I'm asking
We're
you.
going through a discussion,
Okay,
brother.
yes, we are. I'm
You
asking
said
simple-
everyone was
okay,
just.
Do you know yes or no? Yes or no?
You
Do
said
know?
everyone was just. I
Zain,
said prove it from Quran and
Zain,
Sunnah.
do
I'm not going to
you-
speak until you prove it, and then I'm going to have my
Do
turn
you know
to
yes
speak.
or no? Do you know? I mean, it's not. Listen, if you don't know,
I don't know those
there's
terms.
no
I
shame.
don't know those terms. There
It's
you
not.
go.
It's
I don't
not,
know
it's
those
not,
terms.
Listen, Zain. It's
I don't
not,
know those terms.
I'm not tricking you. I'm not trying to kind of embarrass you. I'm asking you
You
simply.
can't. But my point is.
If you ask me kind of a Ilm Rijal question from your books, I probably don't know it because I haven't studied it in depth. You understand?
We're going to a tangent.
So I'm saying that if you do, when we say tawfiq khas, and do you know the difference? Just say I don't know. It's
I already said I don't know the definition.
You don't know. So
but my point is prove your definition from Quran and Sunnah. That was my only claim. Now if you go to a secondary point and you haven't addressed the primary one, we're going to go into too many tangents. You said they were all just. Prove it from Quran and Sunnah, please.
So can we now? I'm getting it slow because it's very important, Zain, that we get our foundation clear, usul. Before I jump to the verses or the hadiths that establish that he was adl, it's very important.
You said they were all just. Whoever saw the Prophet.
Yes.
Let me cut to the point.
The Sunni
You're
position,
saying anyone who saw the Prophet and died in that same state is a Sahaba. They are trustworthy. I said prove it.
I'm saying
it's very
yes.
simple.
That the Sunni position is, as you know, that anyone who saw the Prophet saw him and they died in the state of Islam is adl. Yes. Now the reason why you attack. I mean as Shias, generally speaking, historically speaking, the reason why you attack Muawiyah and Abu Bakr and Uthman and Umar, all these people, may Allah be pleased with them specifically, is because we narrate hadith from them. And the same reason why you attack Abu Hurairah, because he's the biggest hadith compiler and narrator in Ahl Sunnah. That's why you pick on Abu Hurairah specifically.
You're preaching. Can you stick to the topic, please?
Slowly, Zayn.
But you're preaching.
You need to have patience.
I don't want an hour video.
No.
Can you said
Zayn,
you made a claim that they are all trustworthy.
I'm
just asking. Just prove it from Quran and Sunnah.
I'm slowly getting there.
I understand, but if you're
it's
going
very
into too many tangents.
it's very important.
Now we're going to Abu Hurairah, like we're not going through a consistent
I'm trying to
point.
explain to the viewers
why
you attack them in the first place.
definition of concept of
Okay,
adultery.
I'm getting
You can have your time, but you're going to go into 20 minutes of you just going there and not really answering my questions. You said that they were all
Are you
just.
be patient or not?
My point is,
Just
you
be
said they were
patient.
all just.
Just be patient.
But you're talking about Abu Hurairah, Aki.
But Zayn, you're very impatient. Just relax, yeah? Just slowly, I'm getting there.
But if you're just going to preach for 5-10 minutes, we're not going to get anywhere.
We'll get inshallah to that.
Yeah, go for
okay,
it.
let me just go to the point because obviously maybe you think I'm trying to dance around there. No problem.
A little
So,
bit.
like
A
we
little
said,
bit. I won't lie.
Like we said. So let me again establish to you that the ayat in the Quran are general. We establish the adl of the Sahaba from the Quran in a general sense. That yes, the Muhajirin and Ansar and the people under the tree give bay'ah, they are adl. Anyone who comes and says anything different, that they were not adl and they were hypocrites, is upon you to come and give you evidence why that was the case. That was number one. Secondly, we said tawfiq khas, specific praise. Why do we say that Muawiyah was adl and why do we defend him? If you want to say that he was a munafiq, it's upon you to come and prove why. Why do I say that? Why do you say that he was adl? For example, Muawiyah, we narrate hadith from him, as you know. We narrate hadith from Muawiyah. Why do we narrate hadith from him? Because we cannot narrate hadith from someone who is not trustworthy, yes or no? If he was not trustworthy, we will not accept his hadith, isn't it? Yes?
According to your definition, he's trustworthy.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So if he was not trustworthy,
so could you prove your definition, please?
Again, okay, why do we say that he was trustworthy?
Because he saw the
Number
Prophet.
one.
I know you say he saw the Prophet. My point is, can you prove this definition?
That establishes why he was a Sahabi. That he saw the Prophet and the Prophet saw him and he died upon Iman. Okay? That's the definition of him being a Sahabi. That's not proving why he was adl. That's not proving why we say he's just, yeah?
Okay.
The reason why we say he was just is to do with
you said at the beginning every Sahaba is just.
Yes, generally speaking, yes.
So
yes.
then, according to your you don't have tawfiq am and khas because you already said anyone who saw the Prophet in a state of Aman is all just.
Yes,
so you're not going to specifics.
We say that
you're not going to specifics.
We say any Sahabi that died upon the state of Islam and saw the Prophet was a Sahabi, yes, and he was adl.
And you said they were all just.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're not having tawfiq khas in regards to specifics.
I'm talking about.
You said they were all just.
No, I'm talking about the ones specifically who we established for tawfiq khas because we, for example, Muhammad ﷺ had about 100,000 Sahaba, yes, according to some estimates. Do we know all of them by name? No, we don't. Maybe I'll say maybe 100 to 150 max we know by name, yeah? So we're talking about those that we specifically know by name. I'm talking about them. Why do we say they were adl?
Because you have your definition, anyone who saw him, and they're all just.
I'm not talking about.
You don't have specifics. You said that you have specifics in this regards. But my point is that you said anyone who saw the Prophet in a state of Aman and died in that same state, i.e. a Muslim, is just.
Zayn, let me ask you a question.
So I already know that you're different.
Are you saying that?
So you can't prove your definition.
No. Are you saying this concept?
You can't prove your definition.
Okay, let me.
I've gone on for a good 15 minutes, Aki, and you.
Relax.
No, but my point is that we're not going to the.
Relax.
No, that's fine. But my point is that we're not going to the definition because you're not giving it.
No, because I think
you're not going to the definition.
You have misunderstood what I'm trying to say to you.
Okay,
Are you saying just because?
No, what I said is what you said.
Wait.
You said anyone who saw the Prophet in a state of Aman is just.
Are you saying?
Prove your definition.
Are you saying that just because Muhammad ﷺ saw a Sahabi and he saw him, does not prove his adl? Yes or no? Is that what you're saying?
No, it doesn't.
Okay, so how do you then explain al-Mufid in...
Now you're going
no,
to
no,
my
no, no,
books.
because you... Listen,
you can't prove it from your books.
Zayn, listen, I'm
can't
proving from
prove
your
it.
books. I'm proving it from your books,
According
Zayn.
to your definition,
Zayn,
can you prove it from Quran
listen,
and Sunnah?
I'm saying, even according to Mufid, anyone who saw, any companion who saw Ja'far as-Sadiq is adl, even if he doesn't know who the guy is.
talking about Prophet Muhammad,
Mufid
sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
authenticated the companions of Ja'far as-Sadiq, even though he lived in the 4th century, and he never met them.
So now
He never met them.
Can I continue?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you
That's not
believe
my
in
point.
as well.
My point is,
So
can you prove it from Quran and Sunnah?
No, you are being very inconsistent, Zayn, because
No.
you. Wait,
My point is, can you
you
can't
are
prove it from
saying,
Quran and Sunnah?
you are saying that just because the Prophet ﷺ saw the Sahabi,
I'm asking for a
and the
definition, I
Sahabi
haven't
saw
said
him,
anything.
that doesn't prove anything.
I haven't said anything, I'm
According
just
to
asking for your
Mufid,
concept.
that is enough.
I'm not-
According to Mufid, that's enough, Zayn.
My point is, can you just prove it from Quran and Sunnah?
Okay.
It's very
okay,
simple.
So don't interrupt me and say.
I'm
get to your
not, I'm
point.
just waiting.
Because
you've
don't-
been on for
listen,
15
don't-
minutes.
don't
I
ask
give
me-
you 15 minutes
don't
now at
ask-
least.
Listen, don't.
You can't have
what time
15
is it?
minutes. You can't have
Sorry,
that long.
guys, sorry. You know,
Like you have to understand that it has to be give and take.
In Al-Sunnah, obviously, we pray 5 salah, not 3, so we don't combine, yeah? Cheap shots there.
Even though the Prophet used to combine it, carry
Yeah,
on.
even though the Prophet used to
When
combine
he was
it.
traveling, yes.
Even when
he was
in Muslim it says when he never
yeah,
travels.
sometimes, occasionally.
Ibn
yes.
Abbas said when he's not in a fear of death.
Okay, that's fine. But I haven't
Every
combined.
time I'll correct you. Every time I'll correct you.
I didn't.
It took so long for you to get to your point that Salah came. It took so long for you to get to your point that Salah came.
If I don't do it
No,
now,
let him
I'm
do
going to lose it,
let him do
yeah?
something,
So,
let him do
okay, let's quickly, half an hour, then I have to go, yeah? So,
let him.
don't question the concept just because Muhammad Sallallahu saw the Sahabi.
I'm asking for you to prove
Don't
it.
question it because your own scholars believe.
I'm asking for you to prove it.
Your own scholars. Okay, so I'll prove it.
Quran and Sunnah. Are you going to prove it though?
Do you admit that you're wrong? Do you
No,
admit-
I'm asking for you to prove it Quran and Sunnah.
No, but guys, look, you're laughing, but he's saying.
I asked you first,
He
so
was
can you prove it from
questioning
Quran
the
and Sunnah?
concept just because
I
Muhammad
asked.
Sallallahu saw a Sahabi. That does not make him adl. I said I'm not making a claim.
You
But
are.
your scholars made the claim.
You
no,
made the claim
no,
at the
no,
beginning of the
no,
discussion.
no, I'm saying
anyone who saw the Prophet and
that's
the State of
enough.
man is just.
No, I didn't say that.
You
I'm
did say
saying-
that.
No. I
You
think
said it on camera,
You
Aki.
misunderstood me. I'm saying that's enough to establish that he was a Sahabi. If he died upon Islam, he's a Sahabi.
And you
yes.
said every Sahabi is just.
Every Sahabi is just.
Exactly,
Yes.
so you are saying
but that's not from that.
It doesn't matter if you go to A to B
We
to B
don't-
to C if you're going to A
No,
to
no,
C.
that's-
You're saying that every
yes,
Sahabi
yes.
is anyone who saw the Prophet in a state of man and
Yes,
died in that
and
same
that
state.
person is
And then
just.
following on from that, you're then saying every
Yes.
Sahabi is just.
Yes.
So you're saying anyone who saw the Prophet in a state of man is just.
Yes. I'm saying even according to
understand?
your scholars that anyone who saw Ja'far as-Sadiq is just regardless who he was.
Okay, kid, he said that. Can you prove it
Anyone's
from Quran and
companions.
Sunnah now?
Brother, if you tell
Okay.
him
Let him pray first. Let him pray first.
No, he said he's going to go in half an hour.
You have
No,
to
he's
prove
not-
he's
it's
the
not.
Prophet.
Now,
Yes.
are you going for
Disprove
Salah
Yes,
now?
I
So
agree.
he wants you to prove that these are.
I agree.
these
I
are
agree.
people we should follow.
Now, look, the burden of proof lies upon the claimant.
You
I'm
made the claim.
saying,
You made the claim.
Wait, relax. I'm saying, do you accept the fact that in the Quran, the ayat that talks about the udul, the adl of Sahaba, is there? Yes or no?
Sorry, bro, which ayat was that in?
Surah Tawbah,
100.
100, 117.
Of the Muhajir and Ansar,
What's
like,
that?
peace of them.
That doesn't say anything about Sahaba being truthful.
That's my point.
But the Muhajirun and Ansar.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't
Is
say
it
anything.
about the ayat?
Truthful.
It doesn't say.
He already disproved that.
He didn't disprove it.
I already
What?
proved it. Surah
How did he
101.
disprove
He
it?
disproved it and you didn't
The
reply
what?
back.
Surah 3 verse 101.
What, you mean the next verse?
Surah 3 verse
Okay, let's go there.
101.
Let's go there.
Akis, I
That's
really,
right. Look, I mean, we can go there, stick there if you want.
I will let
But
you
that's
prove.
not my proof.
I will
That's not
let.
my proof.
I would like you to prove it from Quran and Sunnah. We're not
Quran
going to
and
speak.
Sunnah.
It's been a good 15 minutes,
Okay,
and I
we
don't
not-
mean to pressure you.
That's fine,
But if you
that's
speak
fine.
for a good 15 minutes, you're not giving me my. You're not
That's
giving me
fine.
the definition.
I'm
I
saying
have
to
to
you,
push you.
I'm saying
Could
to
you
is
please
this.
give it to me?
I'm saying to you is this, that we say that they are from the Quran, generally speaking, and we say from the Sunnah. You have to pray. Yeah.
Now or in half an hour?
Huh?
Wait.
Now or in half an hour?
What time is it?
Nah, they prayed already. So
2:30.
If you want to go now, let him pray first and then come back. So he's relaxing. He's not being prayed.
What time is it? Someone took my plastic bag.
It's 2:30.
Hope you guys didn't nick it.
No, we're not like that.
Okay. Anyway, I was joking. Okay.
I thought you used
what
to be
time?
Shia, bro. Did you used to nick when you were Shia?
Huh? No, I didn't nick it. That's fine.
Just checking.
That's fine. I'm only joking. So, okay. Look, let's not go around in circles. Are you saying the Quran does not establish the adal of the Sahaba, generally speaking? Yes or
Not
no?
your definition.
Not my definition. And my definition is what?
Anyone who saw the Prophet in a state of Iman is
Yeah.
Sahaba, and all of them are just.
Okay. That doesn't establish it.
No.
Does it establish the fact that they were all...
I'm allowing you to prove your.
Does it
I'm allowing you to
establish...
prove your definition.
Does it establish that they were munafiqun?
Some of them, yes.
Okay. Now it's upon you to claim to prove that.
You haven't proved your own definition. Why am I going to prove mine?
No, because you're making a claim. You're making a claim. Listen,
You made the claim first.
You're making a claim.
Okay, he can't answer it.
No, I will answer it. I will
no,
answer
no,
it.
you can't answer it, Aki. We've been.
Zayn,
I'm going to go into my
Zayn.
position now.
Okay. No,
Yeah, because I think your time is over.
Okay, let's stick
With
to
all
the
due
point.
respect.
He wants to answer it first. Let him answer
Okay,
it.
let me answer it.
Now he's asking me a
Alright,
claim.
okay.
He's putting a claim on me.
Okay, let me summarize it again. Okay, number
You
one.
have you finished?
No, let me finish now. Number one, the Quran speaks about the adala. Number two, the Sunnah. We have
Your definition. of
We
that.
have I'm talking about the adala, not the fact that there was Sahaba. Okay, the adala. This is established from the Quran and from the Sunnah. We have countless of narrations that speaks about the ad of the Sahaba. Third, from reason. Why do I say that? It is inconceivable to think that a person who spent his entire life alongside the Prophet ﷺ, who fought in jihad with Prophet ﷺ, who spent his wealth in the cause of Allah, for the sake of Allah, who used to stand up in nights, long winter nights, and pray tahajjud, who used to cry, used to see the prostration marks on the foreheads. It is inconceivable that a person like this would be someone who's not trustworthy. Inconceivable.
So are we not proving your definition?
If you say that it can be, and
We're
that
not proving this
certain
definition.
Sahaba were not trustworthy, you have to prove it.
So you're not
Go
proving
on.
your definition.
Like, go on. I explained to you.
You've proved your
I
definition.
can bring them.
I feel like-
can bring, for example.
I gave you the
examples,
chance. I gave you a good 15,
I
20
can,
minutes
I
to give
can
you
prove.
the.
I can prove.
I think we can move on.
Because the discussion was Muawiyah, yeah?
No, the
But
discussion
Muawiyah.
was on Adalat al-Sahaba. The beginning
Yes.
of the discussion, you said every companion who saw anybody who saw the Prophet in a state of Iman and died in that same state is just.
Yes.
I said prove your definition from Quran and Sunnah. You couldn't do it. So inshallah, I'm
Let's
going to
do
go
it.
to our
No,
definition.
let's do it. I didn't even go through the verses, all of them. I can do that
I
if
feel
you
like
want.
it's my time now.
I can
I
do
feel
that
like
if you
it's my
want.
time
Yeah,
now.
That's fine.
I feel like it's my time now.
I can do that if
With all
you
due
want.
respect, I feel like it's my time now.
Okay. So we said the Quran, the Sunnah, and reason. Okay?
No, I said Quran and
and
Sunnah,
that
you're bringing reason.
Exceptions
I'll
of
give you another
Adala,
chance. Inshallah,
exceptions
prove
of the
it. I'll give you
Adala
another chance. Go
doesn't
ahead,
take
prove
away the concept. If you say that exceptions takes away the Adala, you have to prove your point. Okay?
What makes
You're
a
going to
Sahabi
prove your
just?
definition.
The person that makes a person just is being a Sahabi, right?
Generally
That's
speaking,
it.
yes.
So the
Generally
link
speaking,
to
yes.
being the Adala is the Sahabi.
Yes.
Sahaba,
But how?
right?
Yes.
So the link is the Sahaba.
The,
So
sa-
the minute it's
the-
established
the
the
fact,
Sahaba,
the fact
they
that he's a Sahabi,
just-
the fact that we take hadith from him,
It means
now
that
why
he's Sahabi.
there's a Sahabi, why do we take hadith from him? Because obviously we have certain conditions. For example, he has to be trustworthy. He has to have good memory.
Automatically, a Sahabi is not put to those conditions. Those conditions you're narrating in
Anyone
Ilm
who saw
Rajal,
it, Prophet.
those conditions you're narrating in Ilm Rajal is not applied to Sahaba, and you know that better
No,
than me.
no. Some Sahabi.
No,
if
Sahabis are
if-
not put to that condition. Those Ilm Rajal conditions are put to Tabi'in, Taba Tabi'in, and of other later day scholars, not to Sahaba.
Baba.
The minute it's established as a Sahabi, Adul.
listen, Baba.
That's the concept we're
That's the
talking.
concept we're
listen,
talking
That's
about.
the
Forget it.
concept.
Okay. This concept, by the way, yeah. This concept
Where'd you
is
get
not just from the Tabi'in, Atba Tabi'in. The Sahaba themselves in
So can a
countless
Sahabi be narrating
narrations.
Can a Sahabi be weak in narrating hadith?
He can be short in memory.
And would you not reject that narration because of that?
We would maybe consider it.
La.
You
No,
wouldn't?
no.
Okay.
In
If
Ilm Rajal, you
if
Yeah.
it reaches the chain and reaches the Sahabi,
Sahabi,
the
yes.
scholars do not.
That's
That's it.
That's
Finish.
it.
Khalas.
Finish.
Khalas.
We check the
The chain
chain.
is checked from
the chain, yeah.
everyone to the Sahabi.
Yes.
As soon as
We
it
check
hits the
chain.
Sahabi, done.
We check the chain, okay? And again, I said to you, not every single Sahabi, yeah, falls under the same category.
No, you
So
have
we don't
different
say-
darajah of
Yeah,
Sahabi.
we
That's
have-
the story.
we have-
My point is that
different
anyone who
categories.
saw anyone who has a
your
definition
definition.
companion,
Generally speaking, yes.
he can narrate hadith.
Generally
I
speaking,
asked you to prove this definition
Yes,
from
yeah.
Quran and Sunnah.
I explained to you. the Quran and Sunnah. Okay, let's go there. No problem. Let's go there. Okay, let's go there.
Just to make a mokif clear,
Yeah.
just so that you understand, maybe there might be a bit of
Yeah, yeah.
disparity. He's trying to say the link that makes someone adul is his being a Sahabi. So?
Generally speaking, yes. Yes.
So,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
not generally, it is 100%.
Yes.
There's
yes,
no
yes.
exception.
But how do we establish that?
No, we're going to get to
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Now, to prove he's a Sahabi and your definition of Sahabi, you've said the definition of a Sahabi is anyone who saw Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in a
yes.
state of Iman
Yes.
and died in that state,
Yes.
even if it's for a second.
Yes.
If Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasallam was over there and I
Yes.
saw him once
Yes.
and I went to Pakistan
I'm a Sahabi.
and disappeared,
Yes.
I'm a Sahabi.
I'm a Sahabi.
Yes.
As long as I died in a
I
state of
can
Iman.
narrate
True?
this.
He's saying prove that definition from Quran and Sunnah.
Okay, no.
Mokif.
That
No, no.
definition.
No.
That definition.
No. Why do I have to prove it to you? Why?
Because it's your
Because it's
claim.
your claim.
No. Yeah, it's my
You made the claim.
That's the
This is
ikhtilaf. That's the
no.
ikhtilaf.
This is obviously from the scholars. The ulama have established this. From the Quran, this is
Ulama are not hujjah, bro.
Quran and Sunnah. Quran and Sunnah.
to you they are. To you they are. To you they are.
Your
No,
scholars.
to you-
Your
to you
scholars.
they are.
Sunni
By the way, to
scholars.
Mufid, anyone.
Leave Mufid. I know you like Mufid.
No.
I know you like
no,
Mufid.
no, no, no.
I know you like
No. You know why? Because you cannot have a standard for yourself, and then when it comes to us, you kind of flip.
We're talking
on us.
about Rasulullah.
You're
You
flipping
are
on
referring
us.
to Rasulullah
No, no.
sallallahu alaihi
But
wasallam.
I'm saying even your scholars agree to this. Anyone who met Jafar al-Sadiq is Ad.
Okay,
Quran and Sunnah,
Yeah?
please.
Mufi said that.
Can you prove it from Quran and Sunnah? Yes or no?
That
Definition.
what?
That anyone, you just explained
Who
it.
saw the Prophet?
Anyone who saw the Prophet
No,
is
it's not from the
Adul.
Quran.
Can you prove it from Quran and
It's
Sunnah?
not from the Quran.
It's not from the Quran.
It's not from the Quran.
Hey,
Yes.
thank you.
Of course.
Is it from the Sunnah?
From the Sunnah.
Where?
What?
From the
If they
Sunnah.
saw?
If they saw, yeah,
If they
that
saw?
definition,
No,
yes.
it's not from the Sunnah.
So
No.
where'd you get
So
it
it's not from Quran and
The
Sunnah.
ulama. The ulama.
Where did you get it from?
Wait.
Where did you get it from?
Again.
Where did you get it from?
Again.
Where did you get it from?
I'm explaining to you. This concept is from ijma of the scholars. All the
Okay,
scholars.
so it's from the
at one
scholars.
time,
So it's not from the Quran and Sunnah.
when the scholars come to an ijma, is hujjah.
Is it from Quran and Sunnah?
It's from the ijma of the
Okay,
scholars.
so it's not from
The
Quran
ijma,
and Sunnah.
It's ijma.
Okay, he's
Yes,
made a good point.
Ijma, yeah.
The ijma of the scholars.
Yes.
In Sunni scholars, you know they disagreed about the definition. You know that better than me,
About-
right?
about the
the
Sahabi.
definition of a Sahabi. So it's not ijma.
No, expect to be who?
Huh? The scholars differed with the interpretation of a
example,
Sahabi.
Give me an
Do you
example.
want me to bring it for you?
Bring it to me.
No problem. I can bring it for you if you want.
That's
The
fine.
scholars
Do you think that every single Sunni had that?
of the Sahaba, and you know that better
Show
than
me, show me. No,
Do you
no,
think
that's
every
not-
single
no,
scholar
no,
had
no,
that
no,
definition?
Listen, even if there was ikhtilaf, yeah.
So therefore it's not ijma.
No,
Ijma broken.
but
So there's not ijma?
It's not. I'm saying it's upon you to prove it to me, first and foremost.
What proof?
But you're
But
making the
secondly-
claim.
Secondly, I'm saying to you is this.
Raza,
We
even if
say-
we don't go there,
we
we've
say-
already proved it's not from
No,
Quran and
You
Sunnah.
are saying, look, Zain,
I don't know why
listen,
you didn't
Zain,
just correct me at the beginning. I said
Zain,
that at the
if
beginning.
you say-
Is it from Quran
No,
and Sunnah?
listen.
Why did you retract your statement? You said at the
Listen,
beginning of the
the
discussion,
standard-
it is from Quran and
the
Sunnah,
standard-
and now we're saying
the
it's not.
The standard.
He's saying Quran. Let me
Wait,
explain. He's saying it's not Quran. So they say
the
scholars.
standard.
He's
The
saying
standard.
it's
But at the
Sahaba,
beginning,
it's
he did not say
Ijma.
it.
This is ijma of the scholars that anyone who was
gonna break the ijma now,
Sahabi
wait.
is adl.
Okay.
It's a general position. Anyone who was to come and say opposite, it's upon you to prove it. Prove it. If you say they're
Your
not,
claim is not from Quran and
Your
Sunnah.
claim is not from Quran and Sunnah. Why would I
Okay,
make that claim?
You prove to me from the Quran and Sunnah that Muawiyah was a kafir.
Huh?
You prove
Okay.
to me. Go on.
I will.
Let's do it.
I will. But that's my point. Let's go to your definition first. You established it's not from Quran and Sunnah.
I'm saying.
Your
I'm saying.
scholars are from.
Let's go back to me.
Ijma.
Sa'id ibn Musayyib, Tabi'i.
Okay.
A Sahabi is referred to the person who kept company with the Prophet for 1 or 2 years and fought alongside him in 1 or 2 battles. Ijma broken. Sa'id ibn Musayyib. You can't have an ijma without him. You know that, right?
1 year, yeah.
1 or 2 years.
1 or 2
And
years.
who kept company with the Prophet for 1 or 2 years and who had battle.
Let me see quote. Where?
And it is
Which
by Al-Istiyab fi Asma al-Sahaba.
book? Okay, let me see.
This is the quotation. Wait 1 minute. This is the quotation here. Here. Sa'id ibn Musayyib. Sahabi is referred to the person who kept company with the Prophet for 1 or 2 years.
Can I see the chain for that and how authentic that
Ajib.
is?
Sa'id ibn Musayyib said that. You want, I can give you more.
Obviously, no, but it's a
Give him
claim.
more. Give him more.
I need to see the chain. Who?
Are you able to authenticate the
I
chain?
need to know. I will check it. I'll check it. Now here, I don't have Rijal books on me. I will check it. Yeah. If you give me the chain, I have to check how authentic that is. Yeah.
Did you check the other ones?
Check it. Huh?
Did you check the other ones?
Did you check the ones I gave you, by the way? When
Which
you
ones?
questioned me, you didn't even
Did you
know.
check the other ones?
You didn't even know the fit came before Majlisi.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Did you know that when you asked me about those proof that I gave you in
Yeah.
the Imam debate?
Yeah.
Asl Gaba.
Yeah.
No, I asked
Check
you.
it.
No, I asked you for the reference.
Yeah, I'll give it to you.
Asl
Just
Gaba.
give a text.
My point is that.
Retraction. No. Sayyid ibn Musayyib's reference is in Asad al-Khaba.
Okay.
Okay, so
Your
it's
definition
there.
is
Now,
what?
if you say
Never heard it before.
that doesn't prove it, that
That's
doesn't
fine.
prove nothing.
So
You don't know
a point
Never heard
is,
it before.
That
that's
doesn't
fine.
prove
It doesn't
anything.
prove it if you don't know it.
No, but I'll check
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
My point is, it's not from Quran and Sunnah, it's from your scholars.
Okay, now-
And your scholars even dished on this definition themselves. So according to your definition, it's not according to Quran and Sunnah, it's according to your scholars. We've
saying we can
proven that.
establish-
He said that. He said
He
that.
said, yeah,
I'm saying-
that's fine,
I'm
that's fine.
saying
I'm
we-
just
yes,
general,
yes.
I'm just
I'm
summarizing.
saying we can establish it just from reason.
No, I'll leave
No, we can't.
Anyway,
no, no, no.
to Akal?
Quran and Sunnah. Quran and
The deen
Sunnah.
is based on Quran and Sunnah, not your akal.
No,
You know that,
yeah,
right?
not your
Quran,
akal.
the Sunnah, but you don't
Imam Ali
accept.
alayhi salam said, if
Okay, you
the
don't-
deen was based
listen,
on akal,
I'll give you the Quran.
Wipe the bottom.
bottom. Wipe the bottom.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah,
no.
go on.
You don't accept the Quran. What I was saying.
We don't accept
You wouldn't.
the interpretation, okay.
Yeah, obviously you wouldn't accept that all hadith that
No, but
established.
you haven't even given a verse about that.
You haven't even given it.
You've just given a general verse about Ansar and the
Muhajir Ansar.
It's a general
And the verse
Give
following
about
that
the
refutes you.
definition.
The definition what?
The definition.
Oh, we're still talking about
You haven't
definition.
gone
We
past
have,
it yet.
you haven't
Oh,
gone
we're
past
still
it
about the
yet.
definition.
You haven't gone past
About
it.
what is a Sahabi?
You haven't gone past
Okay,
it.
from Quran and Sunnah.
You can't.
Okay.
You said no.
Right.
no anyway,
Okay.
it's
No
not-
problem.
Can I go into my
Okay,
definition now?
now
Okay.
now you go.
Okay.
Now you go.
So we've proven it's not from the
This is
Quran and
going around in
Sunnah.
circles anyway.
We've proven your definition is not from Quran and Sunnah. It's according to the scholars. And even in the scholars themselves, there is no ijma. Different scholars have said different
Right.
things.
Now
So,
disprove it.
so I've already disproved your claim in regards to Adal
You haven't
Sahaba.
anything.
I have.
You're
I have.
disputing my claim.
I have. I've already.
Just because you dispute something doesn't
I don't
make
know
it
why
right.
we went half an hour to get to this point.
Zain,
But the point is, I've
just-
actually already won the
listen,
discussion.
just
Because you've
because-
already
just because you-
accepted that's not your
Just
definition.
because you dispute my claim doesn't mean that it's wrong.
Yes, it is.
No, it
That's what
doesn't.
dispute
No,
means.
it doesn't mean. Just
If I
because-
disputed your
No, no.
claim, that means it's wrong.
Listen, our definition of what is a Sahabi
Yes.
doesn't take away the fact.
It doesn't
that
make me
Allah-
right, it makes you
that
wrong.
Allah in the Quran established that they are adl.
No,
You are
you proved it.
saying-
You couldn't prove that.
No, you
couldn't prove your
listen,
definition.
You are arguing.
I'm
why
not gonna
can
go
you
into
not-
it further.
listen, You see how walai, you see how insincere.
Take your time.
I'm saying to you, let's see what Allah says about the Sahaba. You are saying no, don't go there.
No, I didn't. I said
Prove
give it
to
to me
me.
from Quran and Sunnah.
Prove to me.
I said give it to me from Quran
Prove
and
to
Sunnah.
me.
I didn't
Prove
say
to me
that.
where you get your proof about the Sahabi being a Sahabi in the first place and why they are adl.
That was my question.
You want me to prove to you the concept of what a Sahabi is?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the
Yeah?
That's the topic.
I'm saying, okay, we're going on a circle.
That's the topic.
Because our main dispute within Bain Sunni wa Shia
Yeah.
is one of the main disputes is another Sahaba, the view on Sahaba.
Yes.
So if the definition is not the same, of course there's going to be dispute. If we had the same definition, the dispute is finished.
Right.
So that's why we're saying let's go to the basics. And
Okay,
the
now you give me your
foundation.
definition.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, my point was I just wanted to summarize that you couldn't give it from Quran and Sunnah. You said it was from your scholars.
I
That's
never-
fine.
No. Wait,
That's
wait.
fine.
It's not ijma.
I never
You
said.
s- and you
I
claim
never
it's not
said-
ijma.
I never said a concept of a Sahabi came from Quran and Sunnah. I'm saying we established the adala from Quran and Sunnah and from reason. I never said that.
No,
they-
but hold on, let's go
I
back
never.
to-
Wait.
Sorry,
I never said that the definition of who is a Sahabi is from Quran and Sunnah.
Cool.
Did I say that?
You said your concept is there.
No. I said the concept is from there. The
Yeah.
concept of the adala is from Quran and Sunnah. Maybe you misunderstood what I said. Yeah, you agree?
Agreed.
No,
So-
That's what I'm saying.
One minute.
That's fine.
Yeah?
Just
I never said anything.
one thing that's clear
Yeah.
though. The adala is linked to the Sahabiyat. Remember that. You're linking.
You're linking that.
Point. The thing that makes them just
Yes.
is
It's
not
them being a companion.
themselves.
Yes.
It's the Sohbah.
Yes.
Yes. So the minute you link so therefore we go back to the definition of Sahaba.
Okay,
You see, I
exactly.
keep going back to
Exactly.
that. Because
Exactly.
the reason why is because
Okay,
your
okay.
adala. Okay,
Now-
for example.
Yeah, I know.
If a Sahabi
Yeah.
didn't pray
Yeah.
and you prayed more than a Sahabi, or a Sahabi done sin and you didn't do that sin,
Yeah.
who's more superior?
In taqwa, like
So
I said,
I love them.
like I said, all Sahabas, we don't say they're all
I
the same
said
level.
you or us, who's more superior?
No, I'm saying, look, again, we don't look.
No, us, not
I'm
the
saying,
Sahaba, us.
I'm saying, maybe the one that you said, the one who doesn't pray, obviously he's less in virtue. Allah Alam, maybe he is. We don't know that.
Sunni position is
We
that
don't
they'll be
know
more
that.
superior than you know
No,
that, right?
I'm saying that Sunni position is that generally speaking they're ad, and the exceptions.
And they're more
that's the
superior
big
than
rule.
anyone that comes after them.
Yes.
Right? So
Yes.
therefore they're more, even if
Yes.
you don't, even if you pray and they don't, they're still superior.
Yes.
Still more
The
superior.
point is, and
Yes.
because of the Sohbah.
Yes.
So then we go back to the Sohbah. What is the
Yes.
definition of Sohbah?
Yes.
You
we
give it, and I say Quran and Sunnah, and you say scholars.
And clearly, you dispute this fact of what is a
And
Sahabi.
clearly it's not in Quran and Sunnah, it's from the scholars.
It's from the
Clearly-
scholars.
now-
That's the
okay,
point.
now
From
you-
the scholars.
That's the point.
I have to correct you guys here with respect, yeah. There is a Sahih hadith from Musnad Ahmad ibn Hanbal, and in which the Prophet ﷺ said himself, one of the questions that was posed to the Sahaba, is there anyone better than us?
Teak.
And the Prophet ﷺ said, yes, there will be. Those who have not seen me and they're yet to come.
That's the Shia position.
No.
So we quote from their sources.
The
We
thing is-
say that it can be
My
better.
point
yeah.
is their position.
Their
let's say
position is that, innit?
Is
Their
that
position
saying?
is that.
You know the word Sahaba itself, it's a very loose meaning, that's the truth. If you
That's
go
a
to
loose
the
meaning,
Quran,
there's nothing there.
If you go to the Quran, there's nothing clear.
The
concise
scholars,
to
basically,
say-
our view is the scholars came to it later to establish a meaning. The Quran Sunnah doesn't speak about this.
But look
And
at-
even the scholars, you said the
Yeah.
ijma is proof. It's not ijma because the scholars disagreed about this subject. They
About-
never said one opinion. Do you think that scholars were all saying from the time of the Sahaba, the Tabi'in were like, all Sahaba saw the Prophet, the companion. You
No,
think
no.
this is
I'm
liable?
saying-
Over time,
We've-
it
no,
developed.
no, no,
We've established.
you
We've established.
are
Inshallah,
stuck.
let me.
No, no, you are stuck.
Inshallah, let me just go to our definition of companion now.
Go on.
Now, we've never made this claim that anyone who saw the Prophet in a state of Iman and died in that same state is a Sahabi, and then against that, you're saying every Sahabi is just. So if I saw the Prophet from there to that tree, I saw him once. And I'm a Muslim. I said, La ilaha Muhammad Rasulullah in the time of Prophet. I saw him, that's it. Khalas, I'm just. Everything I say can be taken in your hadith. That's the Sunni claim. You admit it is not from Quran and Sunnah, you said it's from the scholars,
sure?
and even them it's not from Ijma.
Give me-
Now
give me-
I would like my
No,
interpretation. No, Aki, you've had your time.
No, because that,
Aki, you've had your time.
That,
Inshallah, I
goes,
want,
that goes against Mufid, what he said.
that's fine. But I want to go to
So
my
who's right?
I would like to go to, we're talking about the Prophet, we're not talking about Imam Jafar Sadiq. But in regards to that, I want to go to my position on the Dal Sahaba. We never made this claim. Our claim is that our definition of Sahaba is established what is mentioned in the Quran. We bring all the ayats which have mentioned the word Sahaba, bring them together, and then alongside hadith, extrapolate a conclusion. Surah 3, verse 144. Anyone who reprimands the people who ran away from war, will you then turn back your heels? And you would by no means do Allah any harm. Surah 3 verse 144. In regards to Sahaba, the one you mentioned, Surah 9 verse 100. Allah is pleased on Muhajir and Ansar. Yes, no. I'd like to mention it's my definition now. It's my definition, Akhi. It's rude. It's my definition.
You're chucking in all these kind of claims.
No,
yeah?
no, it's
Let's
my definition.
Step by step.
No.
Step by step.
Okay, fine.
I want you to substantiate the claim you made initially about that whoever meets the Prophet ﷺ, we as Shias, we don't take that to be a kind of
It's not
it's
not-
not enough.
it's not enough.
Just the meat.
Where do you get that from?
We're saying that against the Quran and Sunnah in regards to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi
According
wasallam. We're saying in from the Quran and Sunnah.
Yeah.
That is not the definition which is established. Where have you got this definition from?
Yeah.
And you established it from your scholars, which is fine, but it's not from Quran and Sunnah.
No, but who preceded
Okay,
you
this is
in
my
the statement?
this is my time. I would like to remember our
No, I wanted
definition
to
of
substitute your
Sahaba.
claims,
That's
basically.
fine. But my point, you can reject the verses which I'm saying, but we already established your definition isn't from Quran and Sunnah. Surah 33,
I never
144.
said it
Anyone who ran, yes, you did. Anyone who ran away from war, Surah 3, verse 144, is definitely not in regards to the piety of Sahaba. It's not there.
Anyone who ran away. Anyone what?
Anyone who ran away from wars.
Yeah. Okay.
More definitions.
let's
Surah 49
discuss
verse 2. Anyone who raises his prophet, anyone who raises his voices above the prophet, Allah says their deeds will become nullified. And I'm going to go into this later about who this Asbab al-Nuzul, who the cause of revelation of these verses were about. The brothers who know here know. But in regards to more definitions, we bring them all together.
Okay.
Surah 9 verse 100, those who are the Muhajir and Ansar. What we don't do is say fully, every single person of the Muhajir and Ansar went with the Prophet, he's a Sahaba. It's illogical to have this definition.
Let's
This is our definition.
Okay, step by step.
Wait, I would like to prove...
Number one, because
I haven't finished.
Okay.
Surah 49 verse... Surah 32 verse number 23. Oh people, I do not ask you except you have love for my near kin, love for my family. This is also a definition of the Sahaba. They must have love towards the Prophet's family. Then we go to the hadith alongside this. Now I'd like to present some hadith for you as well.
Wait, explain to me, how do you establish the adl, number one? How were the Sahaba, according to you, how do you establish that they are adl, sunnah?
All of these conditions, and in addition to that, they love the Prophet's family. These are how we define the definition of Sahaba.
So love the Prophet,
Loving,
family.
not running away from wars, not
running
raising
away
your
from
voices
wars.
above the Prophet.
Normal Muslims are applied, like the way us lot.
Yeah, this is how you establish it, yeah?
This is how we establish it.
You know the way normal ilm rajal,
For
you
the
narrate
Prophet,
same
for the
thing.
Prophet, this is how we establish it.
I see.
And we're sticking to the topic of the Prophet.
see. And-
Now, I haven't finished. I haven't
Who
finished.
precedes you saying
I
this?
haven't finished this.
I want you to give me the evidence for this.
What?
Where you got this from?
Okay. Riwayah of Imam Zain al-Abidin from Sahifa al-Qamila, English translation, London, page number 27.
From where?
Sahifa al-Qamila, Imam Zain al-Abidin, the fourth Imam of the Shias.
But this is your
Page
book,
number
not my book.
27. I know, I'm giving you our definition
yeah,
according to our books. Oh God, and as for the companions of Muhammad specifically, those who did well in companionship, those who did good tests in helping them, responded to him when he made clear arguments, separated from mates and children in manifesting his words, fought against his fathers and sons,
Yeah.
yes, fought against his fathers and sons, in strengthening his prophecy, and in through gaining victory. Those who wrapped around affection around him, hoping for a commerce that comes not to love except love for him. Those who were left by clans, and those who clung to his handhold, and denied by their kinsfolk when they rested in the shadow of their kinship. Forget not, O God, when they abandon for thee and in thee, and make them pleased with thy good pleasure for the sake of their creatures. So in regards to this hadith that I quoted from Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam, from the fourth Imam for the Shias, he's giving this definition of the companion here. Those who were good, those who never ran away from wars. These are the things which establish what a Sahaba is for the Shia school of thought. Now I'm going to go one step over this. I proved your definition is not from Quran and Sunnah, it's from your scholars. I proved from Quran and Sunnah, our definition makes very
From
logical
Quran and
sense.
Sunnah?
I gave you Quran.
You give Quran for what?
I gave you Quran. I gave you all those verses.
About
Surah
what?
3 verse 144.
Say
Surah
what?
49 verse 2. Don't raise your voices above the Prophet. Surah
Okay.
42
No,
verse
no,
number 23.
Okay,
Don't-
how do you from that verse say that proves your point? Explain to me how.
What do you mean? My point is that this is our definition of a car.
No, break it down for me.
Okay, from these points, these are all the virtues of a Sahaba. If they satisfy these requirements, this is who would be classified as a Sahaba. Allah's praising these good Sahaba. It makes complete illogical
how
sense.
does that establish that they were Sahaba?
I've just told you. In regards to these good virtues,
Wait,
these
you're
are good
taking-
virtues of
wait,
Sahaba.
You're taking ambiguous verses.
They're not ambiguous, they're very clear.
General verses, and you're applying it generally on the Sahaba.
Yes.
Yes? Okay, so what is it that I was doing that you had the problem with?
You couldn't back up your claim. You said everyone.
That's exactly what you're doing.
No, I'm
Same
not.
thing. Yes, you are.
No,
What
I'm
is
not.
it? Zayn, you're doing
You're saying- you're saying-
doing
okay.
exactly the same
Let
thing
me show you why.
that I've been doing for the past 40 minutes.
Let me show you why.
I
Because
didn't even go to the hadith.
according to your definition,
I didn't. Wait, you mentioned the hadith in your books.
I point-
I can go to my books of hadith.
I said
because
Quran and Sunnah.
because you don't accept it.
I said
I
Quran
didn't
and Sunnah.
mention it.
You said Quran
I
and
didn't
Sunnah.
mention it.
Your Sunnah could have been there. That's
No,
part
no,
of it.
look,
Hadith is
I
part
have.
of Sunnah.
I can stand here all day long, quoting from the hadith authentically, even from.
My point was-
I can establish the adl of Muawiyah even from your books. Even
Can I
from your
respond?
books.
Can I respond?
Yeah, I didn't do that.
You made a claim that anyone who saw the Prophet in a state of Aman
Yeah.
and died in that same state is a Sahaba, and all the Sahaba just. You couldn't define your claim from the Quran and
Because I
Sunnah.
never said they was from the Quran and Sunnah.
No, at the beginning you did, then you changed it.
I never said who.
So fair enough. It's
I
not from
never
Quran and
said-
Sunnah.
No, no.
Khair.
Okay,
So
listen.
it's not from Quran and Sunnah.
Zayn, listen.
Khair.
Because it's going around in circles.
It's not from Quran and Sunnah.
Let's go.
Can I finish my point?
Let's just go
I
to
gave
the-
you a lot of
okay,
time.
okay,
You've
go
given
on,
me
go on,
very
go on,
few time.
go on.
I've given ayats. These are what people. Allah has revered the companions in high point. The Quran says, "Don't call yourself mu'min. Call yourself Muslim." The mu'min are the people who have the highest state of piety. The Muslim is the one who says La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. You go around this hierarchy, right at the bottom you have munafiq. So we have a hierarchy of these companions. You're saying anyone who saw the Prophet in a state of Iman is just. Anyone who saw him, if I saw him there, I'm just. It doesn't matter what my regard is, whether I ran away from wars, whether I raised my voice about the Prophet. You don't take these ayats of the Quran.
Now you're mentioning ayat and you're referring to some people. Yeah?
How so?
Because now that ayah about now you mentioned about
Yeah.
raising the voice.
Yes.
Yeah? You're referring to some people now.
And the Asbab al-Nuzul was on Abu Bakr and Umar, by the way. Let me give you that as well. According to Bukhari.
Now.
According to Bukhari.
Now, are you saying that Abu Bakr and Umar were not adl?
Say again?
Are you saying they were
No,
not just?
no, they weren't just.
They weren't just.
That's
yeah?
opinion.
Right.
But now I'd like to
Okay,
finish
go
my.
ahead.
You keep cutting me off.
Okay, go on.
I've given the ayats. This is what establishes the definition of a companion. Now let's go further more than this. Let's go to the Sunnah. Your Sunnah, not our Sunnah. Let's go to your hadiths,
No,
inshallah.
listen. But by the way, first and foremost,
Yes.
before you throw all this shubahat, because now
It's
you
not
know-
shubahat, it's my
you're
time.
all over the place, Zayn.
No, no, no. I'm very clear. I'm very clear.
No, step by step. Listen.
I've established
Listen,
our definition. Let me go forward
Listen,
from here.
when I went with you, I went step by step. And we were running circles about
You step
what is a
backwards.
Sahabi.
You step backwards,
no,
not forwards.
No, you
But-
listen. Let's establish the fact that who is a Sahabi. Because
established.
what you're saying, okay, for example, if I made a claim that all the companions of Ja'far al-Sadiq are reliable because Ja'far al-Sadiq met them, would you accept that?
No, I'm talking about Rasulullah. We're not talking about Imams. My point is a different subject. We're talking about Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Yes.
Our definition against
Yes.
yours. Our definition of Rasulullah against your definition of Rasulullah.
And where did you get
So
this
our-
definition from?
What?
According to who? Did you make it up or did your scholars?
I gave you a hadith from Imam Zain
No, wait,
al-Abidin.
wait. I'm saying, look, does this come from Zayn,
I'm
the
not-
Blade Runner?
listen,
or
I don't-
Does it come from your?
My point-
In your school?
My point is, our definition, yes,
Because
comes
no
from
one
our
cares
school.
who a 21st century shitty guy called
My
Blade
point-
Runner is.
my point
I
is-
want to know, does your madhab, does your school
That's fine.
agree with this?
That's fine. My point is that our definition,
Yeah.
yes, it comes from our scholars. Your definition comes from your scholars. But our
which
definition,
scholars?
wait. But our definition makes sense. It goes alongside the Quran and Sunnah. Your definition is very illogical.
Makes sense.
Your definition is very illogical.
It's very
Anyone
illogical.
who saw the Prophet
Yeah.
is a dul. I can take a deed from him.
Anyone who saw the Prophet.
Yes.
Anyone who the Prophet saw him and he died upon that state.
Yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
Muslim and I saw him and I died.
Yes, and he died.
Yes.
Why is that illogical? Why is it?
That's-
wait,
you just said it.
No, no.
It's
Again,
not illogical. If
brother,
someone said you're my
listen,
friend.
guys.
Okay.
Guys,
Can I show you live?
Why is it illogical? Why is it illogical to assume that Muhammad had such a good
judgment.
Okay.
That he knew who his companion
That's,
was.
no. That's not what your
They had
point.
good
That's not your
companions.
definition.
No,
That's
no.
not your definition.
Again, no.
But let me prove why.
I said to you,
Brother,
Quran.
let me prove why.
Sunnah, and I said.
Let me prove why.
And I said reason.
Let me prove
Yeah?
why. This is my brother, yeah?
Yeah.
Imagine I never met this man before.
Yeah.
I saw him. Yeah, I saw him. I left. I went Iraq. I went Pakistan.
You're my friend.
I'm his Sahabi. I can narrate hadith.
Yes.
That's your
And he's not my
definition.
friend.
Yes, but do we do that though?
That's your definition.
Now, okay.
That's your definition.
Did we narrate from Sahabi who only met the Prophet once?
Your concept is there. Your concept is there. They're all just.
But you said I can narrate hadith from him.
You can. It
I'm-
does.
You
It
can.
does, it's allowed.
Yes,
I'm
it's
saying-
allowed.
I'm saying, okay, but
Secondary
Do we
premise.
do that?
Secondary premise.
You narrate from Muawiyah, and that's big enough.
Yeah,
for us,
that's
isn't
good
it?
enough. Yeah, you do.
okay,
When did he become Muslim?
okay.
Right.
Okay, khalas, that's fine.
That's the point.
Yeah, let's discuss
But you said
Muawiyah.
you said why it's not illogical. Let's go
let's
to one.
discuss Muawiyah.
Okay, here.
We'll get to Muawiyah.
We'll get.
Yeah, let's discuss
I think we can go to him now.
By the way, I have to pray, by the way, yeah? So,
Okay, can I just refer to hadith? You can't cut me off one more time. Do you need to pray now?
yeah.
Sure.
SubhanAllah, where's the phone? Yeah, I have to pray first. Okay, let me come back.
Yeah, let him pray.
Yeah,
Go for it.
I'll come back.
Safe.
There's another one going on there.
Part 2 to be continued, inshallah. So, in regards to our definitions, I think we proved them. I think we're going to go delve into too much. You mentioned in the last
let's go straight to the
discussion.
point.
Let's go straight to the point.
Yeah.
You mentioned Muawiyah and you're quite stuck on him. So, let's just clarify our position on
Because you
Muawiyah.
mentioned it to be munafiq, so I'm saying.
I believe him to be a munafiq.
Let's go. Now prove to me why he was a munafiq.
Why he was a munafiq? We'll go to the hadith of Rasulullah. First of all, in regards to Muawiyah, all the the ones that you mentioned of the companions of the piety of companions from the Quran of Muhajir Ansar. Muawiyah wasn't of Muhajir Ansar. He was of the Tulaqa. The Tulaqa were those who were freed. The word Arabic Tulaqa means those who were freed by the Prophet. He was of those who fought against the Prophet up to his whole life. And then after the conquest of Mecca, when Prophet Muhammad ﷺ had complete control over everything, after he went back to Mecca, then he freed Muawiyah. Yes, he was of those people. He was of the Tulaqa, those who were freed. So he wasn't even of the Muhajir Ansar, which he quoted before. It doesn't prove he's a kafir.
On that verse, but there's other verse that's more general to our Sahaba.
Which ones?
Yeah, there's many.
Alright, in regards to Muhajir Ansar, but he
We'll go
wasn't.
there, but
So
I
my
never
point is,
mentioned that.
we're going to prove
That was
Muawiyah was a munafiq. That's
Go
my
on,
point.
go on.
So that was the first thing. Then, he had an entire war with Imam Ali alayhi salam. I would like to ask you, but when we had that discussion here before, we said anyone who rejects Khulafa Rashidin, point number one, and anyone who curses Sahaba, you said to me he was a kafir. I said, according to your conditions, Muawiyah is a kafir. Because not only did he fight against the Khulafa Rashidin, which means he rejects Imam Ali, which is your fourth Khulafa Rashidin, he also cursed Imam Ali. So according to your two conditions here, he's not Muslim. I would like you to clarify your position there and see what you have to say in regards to that. He took an entire war against him. He put the Quran on a spear in that war, at the end of the war. Now, does Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam have any hadith regarding this battle? Yes, he does. In Bukhari, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says to Ammar bin Yasir, the pious companion, he says, "O Ammar, you will be killed by a Baghi group, a rebellious group. Ammar bin Yasir will be calling them towards Jannah, and the people who killed Ammar bin Yasir will be calling them towards Jahannam, hellfire. This is the Jahannam, hellfire. So this is where we would say that this, who killed Ammar bin Yasir now? Are you aware of who killed him? Muawiyah in Siffin. In Siffin, you have a tradition.
Muawiyah himself?
You have a tradition in which he was the leader of the war. In the tradition from the Malik's Musnad Ahmad bin Hanbal, you have a tradition in which two companions came with the head of Ammar bin Yasir, and I'll give you this tradition, with the head of Ammar bin Yasir, both coming to Muawiyah, look, we killed him, and they were fighting over who had his head. I'll give you this tradition as well. It doesn't really resemble, it gives you a lot of resemblance to certain groups in the Middle East, you know who they are. Let's keep going. Then, after he had the entire war, and his hadith applies to him, what happened later on? He cursed, he killed Sahabi, which was Sahabi Rasulullah, Hujr bin Al-Thil Kindi. He said to Hujr bin Al-Hadi Kindi, radiyallahu anhu, that he said, curse Imam Ali. He said, I will not curse Imam Ali. He killed him. Yes?
Shukran.
He killed him. Shukran.
Let me know when you
He
finish.
killed him.
Let me know when you finish.
Then he killed several of the companions, and the last thing he done in his life, what did he do? He gave the Khilafah to his son Yazid. When it was a peace treaty between him and Imam Hassan alayhi salam, that the Khilafah would go to Imam Hussein. What did he do? He gave it to Yazid. I would like you to go step by step, every single point I mentioned. These are points which clearly show he was a munafiq. Clearly show he was a munafiq. This is the stances we Shia take to prove that Muawiyah was a munafiq.
So,
From beginning to end, please.
couple of claims. Number one, you said that when I said that anyone who curses a Sahabi is a kafir, I established this from the Quran and from the Sunnah that they are adl. And this, we had this discussion, we don't have to go back to it. But yes, anyone who curses a Sahabi,
From the scholars, not from the Quran and Sunnah.
anyone who curses a Sahabi whom Allah by tawfiq am and tawfiq khas, a general praise and a specific praise, which is found from the Quran and from the Sunnah. Anyone who comes says differently, from that, yes, he's going against the Quran and Sunnah, which makes him a kafir. Now you never established, now we are not discussing that whether or not Muawiyah is a munafiq. So I said to you,
So is that your claim?
that
That anyone who curses makes him kafir?
I'm getting there.
Right, cool.
Anyone who curses a Sahabi
Yeah.
who's adl is established is going against the
Every
Quran and
Sahabi is
Sunnah.
adl.
Again, we had this
said
No,
yeah.
that's your claim.
discussion.
That's your claim.
You are disputing.
That's your claim.
Again, I'll let you speak and I'll let me speak.
Okay, let him finish.
So you obviously have a dispute with our definition of who's a Sahabi, no problem. Let's say for argument's sake that you're right and we're wrong, but we're saying that from our perspective, anyone who met the Prophet, died upon Islam, and we take his narration, he is adl by the ijma and by the Quran and by the Sunnah and from aql itself. So now, anyone who curses a Sahabi, yes, he's a kafir. You curse,
he's a kafir.
you curse Muawiyah, we consider Muawiyah to be adl, so therefore, according to Ahl
We're on
Sunnah,
livestream TV,
you're-
yeah.
so we don't
So
have
we
to
know
go
what
there.
you're about, yeah.
So now, second thing you mentioned about that Muawiyah, he put the Quran on a spear, yes? Okay, again, this is narration. You see one thing.
Step by step. Could you go to the first point?
was
Tulaqa.
that?
He was not of the Muhajir Ansar,
was
he was
not
of the
of the Muhajir
Tulaqa.
Ansar.
Okay, now, again, like I said to you, yeah, the ayat that we established, the adl, is not just from the ayat where Allah says, وَالسَّابِقُونَ أَوْلَى مِنَ الْمُهَاجِرِينَ وَالْأَنصَارِ وَاتَّبَعُوهُم بِإِحْسَانٍ it's not just from those. We have other ayat, I can bring them up, where Allah speaks about all the believers, generally speaking, in a good sense, you understand? But like I said to you before, we spoke about this 1 hour. We don't establish the adl only from the Quran, we do from the Sunnah. We have hadiths from the authentic books where Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he speaks well about Muawiyah. For example, there's a hadith where he mentions.
Could you reject my references, please? Before you go to
Muawiyah.
your extra points,
Zain, listen.
could you just clarify
I let-
everyone's
I
image?
let you speak.
I will.
And I didn't interrupt you.
Here.
So now please don't interrupt me.
Go for it, go
like
for
I said to you, when we say that Muawiyah is adl, we have good reasons to say he's adl. Why is that? We have hadiths, our books, and even in your books. I will give a few of them. For example, there's a hadith in our books, authentic, which states that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says, is a prophecy. He says the first army to conquer, to attack Constantinople will be forgiven. And that army was led by Muawiyah. That's the prophecy. Second prophecy, we have another hadith when Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he takes Hassan radiallahu an, and he says, this son of mine, and he says, this son of mine will be the means of reconciliation between two groups of Muslims. Yeah? So now, did that happen between, now what
All
happened between,
hadiths. Could you give references? Go on?
all hadiths. This is all hadiths for now, yeah?
Your hadiths, not
Now,
proof of
let's go from your hadiths. Let's see what your hadith says.
But you're not responding to my points.
No, I'm getting there slowly,
The whole
slowly.
point of a discussion
slowly.
is that you respond to my points and then you bring your own as a rejection.
Zain,
That's-
you made a
that's-
couple of claims. I'm
fine.
answering you step by step, okay?
can, but I would like you to-
After the cursing bit, I explained to you that anyone after Sahaba, I'm not talking about the Sahaba cursing each other. The Sahaba are human beings. Yes, they sometimes.
Why do they get a level
The
of protection that I
Sahaba,
don't get?
because the Sahaba are not on our level, Zain.
Okay.
Yeah, the Sahaba
I'll
were
respond to
human
that claim
beings.
as well. I'll let
We
you
don't
finish.
believe the way you believe of the Ahl Bayt, that they were kind of
I'll let
super
you finish.
infallible.
Sorry, I
We don't say
apologize.
they were
I should
super
have interrupted
infallible.
you. Please
Okay,
finish.
anyway.
Sorry.
So the Sahaba having ikhtilaf amongst each other is normal. So if one Sahabi curses another Sahabi, we say this is something between them, and it's not for us to come say, oh look, he cursed, therefore he's a kafir. No, this is between them, they're human beings.
Quran and
So,
Sunnah.
again,
I don't want your own
don't
interpretation.
interrupt me.
Apologize.
Like I said to you, yeah.
Okay, sorry.
So we are establishing now. You made the claim that Muawiyah was a munafiq, yeah? Again, let's see what Ali said.
Are you with Ali or with Muawiyah? That's it.
Ali.
If you are with Muawiyah, then
Okay.
you can choose those two.
Now, in the book of Shi'as, Ali himself establishes the adl of the Sahaba, okay? Especially who? Abu Bakr, Uthman, and Umar.
Or Muawiyah. We're talking about Muawiyah here.
I will get to Muawiyah as well. But
No, you came up to me. You said the discussion was on
don't talk about
Muawiyah.
okay, you don't talk about
We
that?
can secondarily,
Okay, that's
but
fine.
our discussion was on Muawiyah.
That's fine. Let's just go Muawiyah.
Please stick to Muawiyah.
He said in Sermon 120 in Nahj al-Balagha, he said this: we now had to fight our brothers in Islam because of entry of misguidance and crookedness and doubts and wrong interpretation into it. However, if we find any way by which Allah may collect us together in our disorder and by which we may come near to each other
In regards to
in
who?
whatever common remains between us, we would accept it and would give up everything else.
Who is he
So
talking
now,
to?
again,
Who was that? Who was that directed
again,
to? Jamil
again,
Safin or Nahr
he's saying about the Battle of Siffin.
About Safin? Does it
About
say
the
that?
Siffin. It's about Siffin, yeah.
Where?
Well, you can check out yourself in
Yeah.
Sermon 120.
It says we had to fight
Go,
our brethren.
go.
Where is it referring
the,
to Safin?
The brothers. Yeah, he's talking about the Muawiyah here.
How do you know he's talking about Safin?
Zain, I'm saying to you, if you want to go and check that out yourself, go and check out yourself.
No, you said
If
that's
I'm
about
wrong.
Safin. I'm just
This is-
asking.
listen,
It might
eh,
be, but I'm just asking.
This hadith is talking about Siffin.
If you want to.
Okay?
Carry on.
So anyway, there's more. Let's see. He said again, "O Allah, save our blood and their blood, produce reconciliation." Yeah, this is Sermon 204. He said, "Save our blood and their blood, produce reconciliation between us and them, and lead them out of their misguidance, so that he who is ignorant of the truth may know it, and he who inclines towards rebellion and revolt may turn away from it." So it's very clear, when Ali is calling the other side our brothers in Islam, would he have said that if he thought the mother was a munafiq? Yes or no? That's the thing. You have to now think and use your reason, Zain. Is that, did Ali, who you believe was ma'soom, he couldn't do any mistakes, he never did any sins according to you, would he have said that if Muawiyah was a munafiq? Second thing, you mentioned the hadith of Ammar ibn Yasir, when Muhammad sallallahu mentioned that he will be killed by the Baghi group, yeah? One of them would call towards the hellfire, the other one will call towards Jahannam.
Not one of them. The one Amr ibn Yasir was fighting.
Yes.
We'll call Amr ibn Yasir towards
Yes,
Jahannam.
so Amr ibn Yasir will be calling people towards Jannah, and the other side will be calling people towards
Jahannam.
Okay, so now, what is the understanding of this? Now, we have to understand, in this hadith, we believe from this hadith that this is clear-cut proof that Muawiyah radiallahu anh was upon the wrong and Ali was upon the haqq. But what did the ulama mention about the way they understood this concept
He received no
about
sin.
calling? No. We say is this.
That's what he said.
Listen to this.
Carry on.
Listen to this. We say that when a mujtahid does ijtihad and he is wrong, he receives what? 2 rewards. If he's wrong, he gets 1 reward. If he's right, he gets 2 rewards.
So Muawiyah got reward
So I'm
for fighting
saying-
Imam
I'm
Ali
saying-
and your
look,
traditions.
I'm saying, look, we have to
MashaAllah.
understand.
You get reward for fighting Imam Ali and your traditions.
Relax. Brother, listen. The
Someone-
human being.
we said we used to love
Listen,
Sahaba.
They were human beings.
They were human beings. That's love. That's love.
Relax. Don't get emotional.
No. Look, it's an emotional
Don't
topic.
get emotional.
You
Don't
said
get emotional.
anyone. You said if you talk bad about Muawiyah,
we are
reward.
here. We are now talking about whether or not Muawiyah was a munafiq based upon this. You're using this hadith
Yes.
to say
He was
that
calling him
was a
towards
munafiq.
Jahannam.
Now I'm saying is this. Now the
Stop
way.
up.
Listen.
Can I ask you one question?
Wait,
Let him finish.
let me finish.
Let him have his whole time for all the points I
The way
mentioned.
the ulama understand this hadith, the way they explained it, is that what Ammar bin Yasir meant here is that when you fight the ruler of your time, this is calling towards Jahannam. Yes. When you fight, the ulama explained this, that what is it's talking about is things that leads towards Jahannam.
So what leads towards Jahannam?
So we believe that yes, fighting the ruler, when you fight the ruler in Islam,
Not
is
any
haram.
ruler, not any ruler.
Any ruler.
Khulafa Rashidin.
Even Khulafa Rashidin.
Not even. They're higher.
Even the Khulafa Rashidin.
Yes.
But even we can say other rulers.
Ali is
Because
different to other
we have-
rulers.
Listen, we have
Yeah.
even other hadith where Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Obey the ruler, even if he beats you,
Let him
he
finish
takes
his
your
points. Let him
wealth,
finish
he
his
takes your
points.
property.
That's fine.
Obey the ruler." So we know in Islam it is not allowed to rebel against the ruler. So what Muawiyah did was wrong. Now Muawiyah, when this happened, when Ammar bin Yasir was killed, obviously they knew
Shaheed.
when he was Shaheed. Yeah,
Shaheed.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah, we believe that, by the way, yeah, that both of them were Muslims.
Both
That-
are Shaheed.
That's Shaheed, yes. Even
That
though they were wrong.
makes
Even though they were wrong.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Even though they were wrong.
What
You
happened to the
don't,
Aql
you
now?
don't have to.
They were wrong.
Listen.
Even though they were
Let
wrong.
me finish.
Muawiyah was wrong.
Let me finish.
Amr Yasir was on
Let me
haqq.
finish. Again, you listen, Zain. You agree, yeah, that when we extrapolate evidences from the Sunnah, we don't just take one hadith and make it specific. We take all of them.
But this
and
is
then
a specific
wait,
individual.
wait.
I'll
Like I
let you
said-
finish all your points.
like I
I'm
said
not
to
going
you,
to interject
we
until
have
the end.
hadiths where Muhammad sallam, he mentions that Muawiyah was a Muslim, that Ali mentions in your books that he was a Muslim. So if you want to say based upon this hadith that he was a munafiq,
Show me each one
Okay.
as you go along. But respond to all my points first.
So again, I showed you Najr Balagha, your own books. What
didn't
Ali
say
himself said we're the fight our brothers in Islam. So
didn't
Ali
say
saying we
It
fought
didn't say
our
Safin.
brothers in Islam.
Didn't say
Okay,
something.
that's no problem. No
carry
problem. No problem. He said also. Let's see your books, yeah. You want all books or just your books?
Your books.
All books, yeah. About the virtues of Muawiyah.
No, I want it from our books.
Your books.
Yeah.
I just gave you. I said that Ali mentions that Muawiyah, the people of Safin from that side were Muslims. Yeah, they're brothers.
Alright.
Otherwise,
You didn't say they were from
other's
Safin.
he will not
That's
call
fine,
them
that's fine,
brothers in
that's fine.
Islam.
So
Okay.
you've given a letter
Okay.
from Najr Balagha
Okay.
saying that he said that they're brothers, yeah?
Yes.
So you know when you look at any subject, Najr Balagha, you have to look at, if you want to look at someone's life and what they're viewing someone, you look at all the letters, sir?
Yes.
When you look at evidence, you look at everything, right?
Yes.
Why don't you look at the other letters that Imam Ali sent to Muawiyah?
That's
Let's
it.
quote.
Yeah.
So, Imam
Read it.
Ali, when he writes this letter to Muawiyah, yeah, he's talking about this. Let's say, what will you do with the coverings of this world in which you are wrapped, removed from you? Let me just give the reference first. Letter 10 in Najr Balagha. The world attracted you with its embellishment and deceived you with its pleasure. It called you and you responded. It led you and you followed it. It commanded you and you obeyed it. Shortly an informer will inform you of things against which there will be no shield. Therefore, keep off from this affair and take heed of the accounting for the day of judgment, and get ready for death that will soon overtake you. And do not give your ears to those who have gone astray. Because you are a man living in ease and luxury. Shaitan has taken you in his clutches. Brother, yeah? Has secured his wishes in you and has taken complete control of you like your soul and blood. Let's carry on. O Muawiyah, where were you all protectors of the ruled and guardians of the affairs of the people, without any forward step or consecutive distinction? We seek Allah's protection against the befalling of previous misfortunes. And I warn you, lest you continue being deceived by desires. Now watch this. You have called me to war. Better to leave the people on one side. Come out to me and spare both parties from fighting. He goes, let's do a one-on-one. What's all this? You have your army. Let's have one-on-one. And he goes, uncovered, I'm Abul Hassan, who killed your grandfather, your brother, your uncle, by cutting them to pieces on the day of Badr. He's reminding them of the kuffar, mushrikeen relatives that he had. Is that allowed for a Muslim to do? Okay, the same sword is with me. And I meet my adversaries with the same heart. Imam Ali is the same. It's Muawiyah who's the changed one. I have not altered the religion, nor put up any new prophet. I am surely treading on that highway which you had been willingly forsaken in the beginning and then adopted per force. Jabr, adopted per force. Let me explain this to what this means. Adopted per force, meaning you adopted the religion by force. When the sword was on your neck, you said, La ilaha illallah Rasulullah. Rasulullah, I'm a Muslim now. And you put him in the same daraja as the Sahabi? Ajib, what kind of definition do you have of Sahabi? Let's carry on. The khutbah's not finished because you quoted. Okay. You think you have come out seeking to revenge Uthman's blood? Certainly, because you obviously use Najib Laga as hujjah. Let's use it. Certainly, you know how Uthman's blood was shed. If you want to avenge it there. Imam Ali is saying, you know who shed it, it's not us. So why are you wasting your time? It is as though I see when war is cutting you, and it is as though I see your party bewildered by the striking of swords, falling of bodies and calling towards the Quran, although they themselves are either unbelievers, deniers of truth, or breakers of allegiance or swearing it.
Stop right there. Stop right there. I want to ask you a question now. That last hadith that you read, yeah? The letter, sorry. Do you accept that Muawiyah, radiyallahu an, when he went out to Siffin?
It's funny you saying radiyallahu an.
Radiyallahu an, I will say alayhi salam. No problem.
MashaAllah.
We love, mashallah, salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. That's fine.
Your guys on here. Your guys on
We
here.
love the Ahlul Bayt and we love the
That's
Sahaba.
fine.
You want to hate them, that's up to
fine,
you.
That's fine.
On Yawm al-Qiyamah, you'll answer for it. No
That's
problem.
fine,
Yeah, that's fine.
Now, do you accept that Muawiyah, radiyallahu an, when he went to Siffin, he went to seek the revenge of Uthman's killers?
La, he used it as a
So
pretext.
what did you just read?
Read
it again.
Okay, let's read it again.
Let's read it
Fake
again.
pretenses.
That's what. Listen, let's read it again because
He never. You weren't listening.
No,
You weren't listening.
no,
You hasn't understood the letter.
Understand?
No, he never understood it.
Fake
you know you have come out seeking
Yes.
to revenge Uthman's blood.
Yeah.
Certainly, you know how Uthman's blood was shed. If you want to avenge it there. It is as though I see you when war is cutting through its teeth, and it is as though I see your party bewildered by the striking of swords. And if you want to know about Uthman's blood, in the same Najib Balaga, he quotes Imam Ali and clearly says you have nothing to do with Uthman's blood, and you're using it as a false pretext. Let's go to that letter. Let's go to that letter. Give your answer.
Do you accept that just from reading that alone, that Muawiyah
Didn't get alone.
Muawiyah,
Yeah.
he went with the intention
False pretext.
to get Ali to catch the killers of Uthman, yes or no?
False pretext.
False
Imam Ali
pretext.
just said it.
Listen,
Imam Ali
listen,
just said
listen.
false
False
pretext.
pretext. He's lying. He's lying.
Wait, relax. Did Muawiyah go to Siffin in order to get Ali to catch the killers of Uthman, or did he go, as you claim, that he wanted
Imam Ali claimed. As
to
Imam Ali
fight the
claimed. As
Khilafah?
Imam Ali claimed.
Imam Ali
You
claimed.
just claimed it right now.
That he went for what? Why?
False pretext.
False pretext.
You have nothing to do with
What does that
Uthman.
mean?
False pretext. You don't know
What does that
You
mean?
know what false pretext
Let
means?
me explain what it means.
Explain.
False pretext means
Okay.
is
So why is
when
it right?
when you use something and
Okay.
you don't really believe in it. You're
And-
using Osman's
and
blood.
what's-
as an
As
excuse.
As an excuse.
And what was the thing that he was hiding? The real reason.
Can I help you, bro? In all fairness, let me help you.
Help him out, please.
The Sunni
No, help me,
generally-
help him.
No, I want to help you as well.
He doesn't need help. He just destroyed you.
No,
Helping me.
He just destroyed you.
No, but
Destroy me for what?
no, but
Did you go through yourself?
never really
One
helped
second,
you.
sorry.
yourself.
He never really helped you.
False pretext.
I think
Imam Ali said it. Imam Ali said it. Imam Ali said it.
Okay. Imam Ali said. Now, what is the right pretext? Explain to me.
There is no right pretext. It's a false.
He's
It's a false
lying.
war.
Say it.
Say it. Go
It's
on.
a false
It does.
war.
Say it.
Can I
Go
say
on.
It doesn't say it.
Sorry.
Go on.
Go on.
in all fairness, to help the brother as well, the Sunnis generally, they admit that Muawiyah was Baghi and he was wrong for fighting against Amir al-Mu'mineen.
Yeah.
But I don't understand what is
What
it
is
you
his
actually...
claim?
No, I'm getting there. Relax.
Okay.
I'm saying is this, yeah?
Finish all the
And
points.
just Uthman's thing. One minute.
wait,
Just Uthman's thing because it's very important. I want to
wait,
Imam Ali's point clear.
Okay.
Another letter in Najib Balaga about Uthman's blood, because this Uthman's blood needs to stop because this is a false pretext. Listen, the blood of Uthman was spilled and Muawiyah used that as a false pretext to fight war against Imam Ali. He used that to secure his position because he was the governor of Sham. The minute Imam Ali became Khalif, the first thing he was get off the chair, you're dismissed. Imam Muawiyah didn't like it. What did he say? Shahid al-Uthman. He used his blood to Baghi, to rebel. But his real reason was not the blood of Uthman. He did not care. And what does Imam Ali say?
That's what you claim.
This is what Imam Ali claims. That's why we're Shia of Imam Ali. Then you have recalled my position with Zawis Uthman. And this is a matter and answer is due to you now because of your kinship. So now tell me, which of us was more inimical towards Uthman, and who did more to bring about his killing, and who offered him his support, but he made him sit down and stopped him, and who was he whom he called for help, but who turned his face from him and drew his death near him until his fear overtook him.
Bro, all you're saying.
All I'm saying is Muhammad Ali saying to
But
Muawiyah,
all you're
you use
saying,
that as an excuse.
all
You
you're
did not
sa-
care about
all-
Uthman when he was
okay,
alive.
all
When
you're
he died,
saying,
yeah, that's it,
all
done.
you're saying, I have no problems with that. That's fine.
No, you do. You said
no,
you're
no,
avenging him out from
I'm
death.
saying, I mean, look, if you want to deny based upon that Muawiyah,
Do you still
that he went out.
Do you actually not know that?
Brother,
What Muawiyah was using as a position? Do you not know that yet?
Listen, if you want to say that his
Imam Ali
intention,
said it, yeah, Imam.
if you're saying that his intention was not to go out,
Of course.
for the sake of Uthman,
That's the whole point.
That's your
the
claim.
whole point.
That's your claim. We know the whole battle took
Okay,
place.
Qisas.
Wait,
I'm gonna
wait.
give the biggest
Brother,
proof on the
wait,
subject.
relax.
Biggest proof on the
Bro,
subject.
Bro, listen. I'll let you speak.
Sorry,
I'll let
that's
you
true, that's
speak,
true, yeah, go on,
You're saying, I'm saying to you that the evidences that suggest that Siffin took place as a result that the reason why Muawiyah didn't give his bay'ah to Ali was because he made a condition. He said, I will give bay'ah to you, and we have this in our books, clear cut. When Muawiyah himself admits that Ali is more superior to him. It makes clear, crystal clear.
Anyone could say that.
Wait,
It's obvious, that's obvious.
This is your books.
Zahir.
You don't have to accept it, no problem.
That's
we have
obvious,
crystal
obviously it's
clear
clear.
narrations where people come up to Muawiyah and said, do you think you're better than Ali? He said, I am no one to compare to Ali.
Did he curse
was
Ali?
Huh?
Did he curse Ali?
Again, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. You
We'll
say
see- we'll
that.
see how much he
We'll
loved
get
him
to
when
that.
he
We'll get to
cursed
that.
him,
Anyway, Baba, listen. We don't say that they were perfect.
So now a minute ago,
we
you
don't
were
say.
better than me.
We
So
don't
when I
say.
about
We don't
cursing
say
you,
Muawiyah was perfect.
Can I ask you one question?
Wait, let me finish. Let me
Okay,
finish.
go, let him
We
finish.
don't say Muawiyah was perfect. We don't say none of the Sahaba were perfect. Yeah,
go on.
everyone was fallible. Everyone could
sir.
make mistakes.
Sir.
I'm saying the reason behind Siffin was because Uthman, after he was killed unjustly. Let me ask you a question.
Give us references.
What?
We would like references to show that Muawiyah was really trying to avenge Uthman's death. Please give us references.
Okay, one quick proof on this.
Give us references.
When Muawiyah
Let him give us
took power
proof.
afterwards, you know when it...
Listen, forget this. Even if you were to take this as a virtue,
Still not enough.
Still not. No.
there's no authentic tradition in virtue of Muawiyah. In fact, Badruddin Ayini, the guy who wrote the Sharh of Sahih Bukhari, and even Imam Nasai got killed because when it was asked to him,
Give me Fadail al-Muawiyah.
give me Fadail
Sir,
al-Muawiyah,
sir,
they
sir.
killed him.
It's like, I can't give you anything except that the
How
fact that the
was
Prophet
Imam
said
Nasai-
about
in
him
fact- in
that
fact-
he'll
in
eat
fact-
and eat and eat and he will never get full.
In fact, within Salafi movements themselves, for example, the Hizb Tahrir movement,
Yeah.
they consider Muawiyah to be a deviant, and they call themselves Salafis.
Very
so
good.
the thing is, at the end of the day, Muawiyah himself, the personality,
Accent, yeah.
there's a big question mark marking him. Do you understand?
Yes.
So
Nobody can deny that.
Now-
This is
this
yeah, you're
historical.
right.
This is
historical
historical
fact.
Now,
It's
so
a
someone,
historical
someone
fact.
debating the subject, it just seems like you don't know your
Name me one Salafi scholar who didn't admit that Muawiyah was wrong for what he did. He was
I
actually
never said
misguided.
one was
Yeah,
right.
but what he just said was,
so what-
he added to that.
No,
He
no,
goes,
no.
It's
I'm-
ijtihad.
Listen.
He said
Yes.
it's
He
ijtihad.
said ijtihad.
Listen,
Is that your
listen.
view? Let me finish. Is that your view?
What is the position? What is the procedure when a Muslim is unjustly killed? Explain to me the procedure.
You have to go through a court system and everything. That's the normal way
Exactly.
to do it. You don't start
Exactly.
waging war, taking a rebellion.
Hold on. Who does
because
qisas? Who takes qisas?
I want to go to one. I want to go to one hadith.
Muawiyah.
The
Family
family, yeah?
member.
Yeah, it's his
Family member.
family, so it's his cousin.
Wait. Okay. His family.
Cousins don't take qisas in
his
Islamic law.
family-
Did you not know that?
His family came to Muawiyah.
Who, sorry?
For retribution.
Show me.
What do you mean show me?
Show me.
Well, it's in our books.
Show me in your books.
Show me in your books.
Show you now?
Muawiyah stood outside in the
Listen,
outskirts when Uthman was being
listen,
killed.
listen.
And then when he was finally killed,
Wait,
then
wait,
he came
wait,
inside.
wait,
No, this is
wait.
no. He doesn't need to show reference. He's right. In the books, it does say that one of the excuses offered, they say that basically
Qisas.
Muawiyah wanted to seek
qisas, yeah.
revenge
Yeah, for his family.
Usman's murder, but
That's
the truth is, at the end of the day, this,
I think
you said yourself.
I think what you guys are.
Bro,
I would like to
bro,
mention
listen,
one point. I would just like to
listen,
mention one point. No, let me just mention one point.
listen,
I haven't
listen.
spoken for some time.
1 second.
Can I just mention one point? The
I'm
hadith
not
you
spoken
accepted.
all, bro.
One hadith. The hadith said those who will be calling Amr bin Yasir to hellfire.
Yeah, things at least was hellfire.
The extrapolation that you took from that.
Things at least was hellfire.
No.
Yeah.
He said
Fighting
they will be.
against
No.
the ruler. Yes.
The
will lead
hadith
towards
says
hellfire.
they will be calling him towards hellfire.
Yes.
From what you followed on from that was to say that he received reward.
Is that what you're saying?
That's your conclusion.
Yes.
So that's the hadith. So I just want to get two things straight.
Two things straight.
That's the
Why-
hadith.
why did I
one
say
second.
that?
Let me make one thing
Ask me
here.
why I
The
say
hadith says he will be calling them towards hellfire,
Yes.
and you accept him Muawiyah.
Why?
And what you extrapolate from that is he was
Yes.
receiving reward from it.
Because Nabi Muhammad,
I would like to make
Nabi
sure
Muhammad,
that everybody here
Nabi Muhammad-
understand that that's your
Nabi
claim.
Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, when a mujtahid does an ijtihad and he gets it right, he gets two
That's in
rewards.
fiqh.
Okay.
If
That's
he
in fiqh.
if he gets it wrong, he gets one reward. Now
Okay, watch
when
this. Fiqh. Yeah, go on.
when Muawiyah went out in Siffin, he was doing
Let him
ijtihad on the basis of qisas, that he wanted retribution for the killers of Uthman. So Ali who's also mujtahid, he said, listen, he knew that the people who were behind the killing of Uthman were amongst his army. He wanted to wait to catch all of them at the same time. Muawiyah said, no, I want them now. Ali, because he was more far-sighted, he was more kind of, I would say, no problem that he was more kind of, had more hikmah than Muawiyah on this.
Superior.
That's fine, yeah. We believe that he was more superior.
Regardless of your interpretation, bro.
So he,
Regardless of your interpretation.
This is not only in interpretation for me, this is how in our history.
Regardless of your interpretation, you accepted the hadith. So you know that's not the real reason.
Ammar bin Yasir.
You already accept that's not the
Listen,
real
if
reason.
two Muslims fight,
Which hadith?
Yeah.
if two Muslims fight,
Two Muslims
Make
fight.
peace
both
between
no,
them.
that's a separate issue. If two Muslims fight, Bukhari very clearly says if two Muslims fight, both of them are in hellfire.
Now let's say
Ahsant.
it all.
Yeah, there's a
So
hadith
this
from
is
there.
the hadith
Yeah,
from
there's
the
a
Prophet
hadith from there as well,
sallallahu
yeah.
At the end day, let's go to
killing a Muslim is kufr. And besides, Allah says in the Quran that when two parties of believers fight,
Make peace.
make peace between
Yeah.
them,
Yeah.
and the one who transgress, fight them. Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
So
Yeah.
you just argue.
So,
So
two,
it's a-
yeah, so listen, two believers fighting doesn't necessitate that one is a kafir and one is.
It does when it's Imam Ali though.
Yeah.
That's
That's
the
when it's
problem.
Imam Ali.
You're applying a believer.
Now,
That's the
the
problem.
reason why you
That's
say
a believer.
Brother, the
We're
reason-
talking about Imam Ali
why,
alayhi salam.
the reason why you
That's the
say
problem.
that, the reason why this whole thing goes back to the Imamate of Ali.
No, it's not.
Khulafa
No,
Rashidin,
no,
you have the
it's
same
Khulafa
law.
Rashidin. It's Khulafa Rashidin. It's got nothing to do with Imam.
Go on.
So the brother mentioned something earlier. He said, look, if there was an issue, a dispute, and the Prophet said, resolve this matter through ijtihad, okay? And he said, you know, if you do something right, you get 2 rewards.
Yes.
If you do something wrong, you'll get 1 reward. This particular narration, anyway, it's actually not sahih. By all means, when you get a chance, do look into it.
Look into it, sure.
But the thing is here, it's incorrect. Let me explain to you why it's incorrect. As you said earlier, this was related to matter of fiqh, but even then, there's no certainty, because in fiqh you can also always have different opinions.
Yeah,
but what will take you out of the fold of Islam are certain acts of disbelief. Do you understand?
Yes.
Like as you say, you believe shirk wouldn't make you a kufr. Killing somebody is also, the recompense is hellfire, because the Quran is very clear. It says anybody who kills a believer intentionally, he will go hellfire. So it means
that's a
here,
normal- is that a normal believer?
it means here that if two people, if one claiming to be a Muslim
I mean, say-
and
say-
the other
say-
one,
say-
do you understand my point?
Yeah,
I'm trying to
I
make
understand
up.
what you're saying, but look, I mean,
Can I just finish my point?
Yeah,
though?
go on,
I just
sorry.
want to finish my point. So if there's 2 groups of people, both claiming to be Muslim, one kills the other one, both of them cannot be in heaven.
Exactly.
One is going to be in hellfire and the other one is going to be in hellfire. That's clear.
Yes.
The hadith on Sahih Muslim, the one you're talking about, that 2 parties of believers, in defense for that, the excuse they offer here, they claim that part of the tradition which says anybody who kills a believer intentionally is in hellfire, they believe the hellfire part is an addition in the hadith, even though the Quran is very clear about it.
Yes.
The Quran's
Now
clear
the thing
anyway.
is, what Muawiyah did, if his intention was to seek the death of Usman, why didn't he take legal action? He could have went to Amir al-Mu'minin. There's a whole
When he became
court
Khalif,
system.
what did he do?
There's a whole course.
Did he take his house when he became
No,
Khalif?
he didn't.
Why didn't he take
Khalif?
when he
How did he
became
rule for
Khalif?
20 years?
When Muawiyah became Khalif,
did.
was how?
What, he did
He
Qisas?
did? Where?
Please show
we
me any
have
evidence
we
of
have
that.
Please
we
show
have
me.
we have narrations.
No, he did not.
We have narrations in.
So who's the killers of Osman then?
We have narrations in both.
Qisas, he must have grabbed the
both-
person,
He must have
right?
grabbed
We
it.
have narrations in our books which states that he had few people killed in Egypt, few people killed in.
Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr he killed in Egypt.
I want to make a beautiful point
We have
here.
it. We have that, yeah. But the actual killer of Uthman, no, we don't know who it was.
I want to make a beautiful point here. It's very interesting because I noticed when we discuss with people of other schools, they also bring up the objection. They say that, why do Shias are to be blamed for killing Imam Hussein? I'm sure this was the intention in one of those leaflets, right? Who
Was
killed
that him on the
Hussein?
leaflet?
Yeah, who killed Hussein, right? So
Oh, that's you in the
Okay,
leaflet.
that's you.
Okay.
That's yours.
That's
no,
yours.
no, but listen, that leaflet anyway, that leaflet, who killed Hussein? That particular leaflet obviously addresses present-day Shias to be responsible for killing Imam Hussein. So in the same way, for example,
Wow.
in the same way, what would we say about all those who didn't come to the help of Usman? Why was Usman killed? Will we hold all the Sahaba accountable for allowing Usman to be killed? It's just a question. Do you understand?
Yes.
It's a valid question.
It's very
I
valid.
mean,
valid.
look, even
you understand my point?
Yeah,
Very
I
valid.
understand
If
the point,
they apply on Imam Hussein alayhi salam
Yeah.
and Yazid, then why don't you apply the same methodology on Uthman's death?
Yeah.
That way all the
And in
Sahaba.
fact, forget what Muawiyah did. Look what Muawiyah did afterwards. He pointed his son. He went directly against the treaty, the
treaty.
Sunnah.
Of Imam
Exactly.
The treaty that
Hassan.
did Imam Hassan. What did he do?
And now
He-
the biggest proof of Muawiyah's hate for Imam Ali, because the Sunni brothers and especially the Salafi brothers, they defend Muawiyah till the death. Sunni scholars back in the day tended to be a bit light on Muawiyah,
Yeah.
and they knew about Muawiyah's stance. It's the Salafi position who pushes Muawiyah.
Not all,
because
not
of-
all,
not
not all,
all,
not
but
all
generally
Salafis, not all.
they do have this bogus against Imam Ali. So the point is that when they do that, when Muawiyah did what he did, afterwards with Imam Ali, when he cursed, the biggest evidence to find out if he hated Imam Ali was a Sahabi called Hujr bin Adi. Anyone who wants to go research this, just find out how Hujr bin Adi was shaheed. He was killed on the orders of Muawiyah, who said, if you do not curse Ali, I will kill you.
Reference for that, please.
But I'll tell you the
reference?
reference. I'll tell you. Yeah, it's in. If you look at Ibn Kathir's Bahai wal Nihaya, it's also an English publication. You're right. In the start of it, he does mention this.
I know. I've read.
But in all fairness,
that he
in
allowed.
History, it's not even a narration, it's a history.
No,
book.
I think Marwan.
No, number one.
No,
Muawiyah.
Basically, look, there were certain individuals who were considered as Sahaba. Technically, there were Sahaba of the Prophet who were killed by Usman. But the thing is, again, they will try to offer in a defense to say, well, we don't really consider those individuals to be
but I can say
Sahaba.
it, but my
Like,
point-
for
my-
example, like Khalid bin Walid killing Malik ibn Nuwayra,
They
right?
excuse him, they say ijtihad.
Yeah, they
So
say-
every, the Sunni concept is every time a Sahabi does wrong, ijtihad, he gets reward. Sir? Now watch this. Who does ijtihad? The common person or mujtahid?
Obviously, Mujtahid.
So what?
Bro,
So what?
bro, listen.
No,
No,
who
no,
does,
no,
who does,
you know
no,
what,
answer,
you know-
answer.
no,
Who does
no,
who does ijtihad? You know scholars. Who derives
gonna step
Islamic
back
law?
'cause it's not
You-
fair.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
two-
no,
three
that's
years.
fair enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Who derives Islamic law?
Look.
Now, let me not answer the question because you said ijtihad. Yeah.
Let's stick to Muawiyah rather than.
This is Muawiyah. This is
No,
Muawiyah.
Look.
This is Muawiyah.
We are trying to establish whether Nama was a munafiq. Now,
So now I'm gonna make a point. Let me.
listen,
Yeah, go on.
Do you accept that a munafiq is technically you're saying that he was a kafir? He wasn't Muslim, yeah?
Yeah.
Munafiq.
Why did Hassan give bay'ah to him in that case?
He didn't.
Ajib, now you went to something else. Ajib, why do you run away from
Why
the
do you
subject?
run away from the subject?
Listen,
No, because-
Abdul Hamid.
no, listen,
I'm not gonna let you
it's
run away
very
from the subject, my
important, it's very
brother.
important.
No, it's very.
You say it's not. He
Imam
did it.
Hassan, we're gonna get to. Don't worry. We'll
He
get
didn't
to
give
it.
bay'ah
We're gonna get to Imam
him.
Hassan.
I'm not
Oh,
interested.
you should-
I'm not interested in going around your
No,
circles.
it's very important.
I've
Bro, it's
proved
very important.
Muawiyah fought Imam
Is it
Imam
allowed-
Ali.
is it allowed-
Muawiyah
Even
fought
if-
Imam-
even if I
Well,
proved-
different subject,
Guys,
different
guys,
subject.
guys,
And
I
you're trying to
proved
go
that
through.
he fought him,
What's the difference?
and that's not going to be
Because
because
Muawiyah was a kafir.
All right, watch this. Watch this.
Is it allowed to give
Let's
bay'ah
go.
to
Let's go.
kafir?
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let me.
Wait.
Let's
Is
give
it
you the
allowed?
thing.
Is it allowed? to give
Okay.
bay'ah to
All
kafir?
right, cool. All right, cool.
Is it allowed, uncle?
No. I said that.
Okay. Is it allowed to give bay'ah to a kafir? Yes or no?
I don't know why you're talking
it
about some different
allowed to
subject.
give bay'ah to
Suddenly he remembered Imam Hassan and Muawiyah. Okay, Muawiyah, done. Muawiyah, you say he got reward for fighting Imam Ali, sir?
I'm saying that he.
No,
done
let's
ijtihad.
get the
he
motive.
said
I'm
he
saying-
got reward.
I'm saying
He
got
done ijtihad. Now who does ijtihad? Every claim I'm gonna get you on.
Mujtahid.
Is Muawiyah mujtahid?
Yes.
Show me, prove. Abdullah bin Mas'ud is a mujtahid. Abdullah ibn Abbas is a mujtahid. When did Muawiyah become mujtahid?
What is a mujtahid?
Mujtahid is a person who derives Islamic law. Can you derive? Are you
He's
mujtahid?
right. He's right. I tell you why he's
Go
right.
on.
In all fairness, he's right. They believe all the Sahaba
Are mujtahid.
are mujtahid. So even if they do something wrong, you could say, they're still getting a reward for
So
it.
it's not-
So
yeah.
this
This
is a
is
good
not-
point.
this
This
is
is a very good
private
point.
attacking.
But the thing is,
Now,
that,
ijtihad. Now,
that
watch this,
issue is problematic for him to accept for many
Because-
reasons.
Yeah.
He shouldn't accept that. I'll tell you why. He shouldn't accept that because then we could say, well, when Aisha hit herself, when the Prophet ﷺ passed away, she did ijtihad.
That is what they say.
She'll be get reward for it still, regardless.
for
Or
what? She-
for
but
when
she
the
hit
Pro-
herself.
she hit herself.
She
The
slapped
tradition
her
says
face and
that.
she slapped the
Yeah,
chest
yeah.
once.
The tradition, yeah, and it's Sahih as well, by the way. You can look at it.
And this is the evidence that you use for any.
Martin, no. But I'm just
That's- yeah,
no. I'm just mentioning.
Matam, yeah?
No.
Is that-
Yeah, we
the
do.
hadith of Aisha,
You're right. You're right.
Follow the sunnah of Aisha, mashallah.
No. It's true. No. It's true. No, it's, what you're saying again. You're right. You're absolutely right. This tradition, obviously, we don't accept as evidence. But her actions would be hujjah for you. Do you understand? So that means that her
You should make
acts,
an annual kind of procession out of it.
bro. It doesn't. No,
Same
it,
time.
bro.
Shura?
No. 1 second, bro.
doesn't need to.
At the end of the day, she doesn't need to. At the end of the day, there's many acts the Prophet ﷺ performed once in his lifetime, but
It
still
becomes
those
allowed.
acts.
Jaiz.
You do
are-
Tarawih
you
every
understand,
year.
yeah? So that is a separate issue. But
Only
to
illegal,
believe
yeah.
Yeah,
that.
but our point is the
Every
concept
Ramadan.
is the same.
But look, the point is, like, you know about ijtihad now. Okay,
Yeah.
now the brother said that for you Muawiyah is ijtihad. Muawiyah is a mujtahid. Okay. The Asul of fiqh says, if there's a nas, you can't do ijtihad. So Allah, if there's a nas, if something is sarih,
Yeah.
clear, you can't do ijtihad. So,
No, but I think you can't do qiyas.
la, you can't do ijtihad on nas. I'll give you an example.
Cyprus.
If Rasulullah
Obviously, if I have a nas in front of me,
yes.
then I have to do ijtihad by looking at all the
No,
evidence.
ijtihad means that you can't do ijtihad. You can't
Bro,
derive.
I don't think you understand what
I don't think
ijtihad
ijtihad
means.
means.
I
Do you know what ijtihad means? There's 5 prayers. Can I do ijtihad and say there's 6?
No.
You can't reinterpret the
I can't do
text.
ijtihad
Nas,
on
you know what
nas.
nas is?
Do you do ijtihad of how to pray?
Do you know what nas is?
Do you know what nas
I
is?
know, yes.
Okay, let me explain what nas is. Let me explain because everyone's
I don't
because
think
there's
you
a lot of
understand.
technical terms we're using.
text
A lot of technical
revelation.
terms. When there's something clear in the
Yeah.
Quran or Sunnah, let me explain. When there's something clear in the Quran Sharif and the sayings of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam,
There's no ijtihad on
there
it.
is no ijtihad on it. Let me finish.
Ijtihad in sense.
Okay, I'll give you an example. Rasulullah ﷺ said, pray how many times? 5. If someone goes, I think that means 6, what would you say to the person?
Now you're going directly against the tradition.
You went against the nas,
Yeah,
something
yeah.
what you call unequivocal text. That's what you call it.
I could call it wrong ijtihad.
No, that's not ijtihad.
that's
That's
wrong.
not ijtihad.
Bro,
You don't
it's
get sawab
not
for that.
ijtihad.
Okay,
Bro,
so
There is
there's no ijtihad on that.
Tell you why, bro.
Ijtihad only on.
Sorry. What does ijtihad means linguistically? What does it mean?
Cheap. Now he's gone to
No, I
understand
No,
what
no,
he-
no,
to strive,
Yes,
to strive.
strive.
It comes from the word
Strive.
jihad. Comes from that word. I
Strive
know.
towards
Yeah.
what?
Okay.
Towards what?
Istinbat to try and derive the rulings.
Exactly.
Yeah. Go on.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I can do ijtihad on us.
No, you can't.
You can't.
The ulama of Usul
Bro,
said you can't do ijtihad on nas.
You're saying-
He's right.
Do you see what I'm saying?
But
Yeah, it's just-
You can't do
it's
ijtihad on
semantics.
us.
No,
It's
he's
semantics.
right. He's right.
No, it's not semantics.
Qiyas.
He's
We
right.
don't do qiyas when we have.
I feel like we're getting ahead of ourselves.
It's
Just
different
a
things.
little bit. Shall I
We
tell you
don't
why?
do qiyas. Anyway, it's
You've
not important.
accepted the hadith that he was calling them towards hellfire.
Things
And-
that
Possible.
leads. Yes.
No. His
Fighting-
hadith.
fight-
His hadith.
Fighting.
Anyone who was called-
Anyone who fights against.
No, I'm talking about the
ruler,
hadith.
It leads to hellfire. Yes.
I'm talking about the hadith. I'm talking about the hadith. 1 second.
They say something right.
What's your point?
What's your point?
Okay, let's continue. You've accepted the hadith, Aki. You've said he was calling towards hellfire and you say he's
Nusus,
receiving
al-nusus,
reward from
sir.
it. So I don't really need to go on how illogical that is. But let me just make one more point.
No, I'm saying.
You
I'm
said
saying
what?
to
You said whatever the
No,
companions
you-
do
listen,
to Imam
you-
Ali.
You are using this hadith to say that based upon this hadith, Muawiyah is in hellfire.
Yes.
I'm saying no, it's not because we have.
No, I'm
other
saying he was a
hadith.
munafiq.
Okay, he's a munafiq. I'm
You
saying
know
look, we have both from our nas from our books and from your books
That's
that
it.
establishes that he was a Muslim.
You don't.
I just read
Okay.
from Najm al-Agha.
And he never
And
read
I
it.
got it back, and I
And
got
he
it
read
back.
it back. And he replied to it.
I read
One more
from,
point.
listen,
I
I
think-
read from Najm al-Agha, but Ali radiallahu anhu, he says
I would like to-
we had to fight our brothers in Islam.
I would like to ask one
Our
more question.
brothers in Islam.
I would like to
How
ask
do you answer that?
Let me ask you one more question.
I answered it.
And
What?
also, you don't
I
answer
answered
me.
the Jabal.
How does Hassan radiallahu anh,
I would
how
like
does he
to
give
ask
bay'ah to
Sure, sure.
Muawiyah?
I would like you to ask you
How
one more
does he give
question.
bay'ah to Muawiyah?
I would like you to ask one more question.
Why did he give bay'ah to Muawiyah? Answer me this.
What?
So if you
did-
left Safin,
No,
He didn't.
No, but it's related.
He didn't.
You left
It's,
Safin.
it's related.
You left Safin.
you left Safin.
No, it's related.
I would like to ask you one more question.
Listen,
Based on, let me,
wait, no,
following
no,
that,
no,
let me ask you one more question.
I want to press him on this because he's not answering me. Why did he give bay'ah to Muawiyah? Answer me.
Okay, first of all, the Shia scholars, they don't say that he done bay'ah. It was a sulh. Do you know what sulh is? What's a sulh? When the Prophet done sulh in Hudaybiyah, was that bay'ah?
Was a sulh,
Was
yeah.
that bay'ah?
Was that bay'ah?
So he didn't do bay'ah.
Of course he didn't do bay'ah. That's- Opposition is sulh.
Listen, did he ever?
Do you know what sulh is?
Why? Okay, wait.
Now he's gone- this is why I wanna go-
now he's somewhere else.
Now he's gonna go somewhere else now.
No, relax. Listen, don't.
Please come back to Safin, yeah.
Why did he give up his khilafah?
Ajib, now he's going something else.
Now he's going to
Why
something
did Imam
else.
Hassan-
First
why
you
Imam Hassan
mentioned
give up
Salah.
bay'ah?
Bro,
First
listen.
you mentioned allegiance.
It's-
Now you say
it
give
is-
up
it
Khilafah.
is-
Okay, so let's go step by step. Sure. We're gonna get to it.
Step by step.
Step by step. Sure.
Explain to
Let's
me
go back to the
why
steps.
did he give khilafah?
So first of all,
He gave up
Muawiyah fought Imam Ali, alayhi salam. Imam Ali was the rightful Khalif at that time, according to both schools. Muawiyah fought him. He used the pretext of Uthman's blood. Imam Ali wrote letters to him which says you're using it as an excuse, you don't care about Uthman, and I quoted that to you already. You use the evidence of brother, I quoted that evidence back of Najm al-Agha that says he said to him, I'm the one who killed your grandparents and you were forced into Islam when the Prophet conquered Makkah.
Doesn't make him a munafiq.
Imam Ali saying it, not
Doesn't
me.
make him
Right,
munafiq.
let's move forward.
Okay, Imam Ali call him my brother in Islam.
No problem.
Why do you skip that hadith?
That's fine.
Why
No.
do you skip that? Why do you go
Let
to
me-
one bit of the hadith? Say, look, he's saying you fought me because of four pretexts. I'm saying, subhanAllah, you have another hadith in Najm al-Agha where he said we had to fight our brothers in Islam.
That's fine. So they brothers
So
in
if he
Islam
was a
continue.
munafiq, why Ali radiallahu anh, who had isma, he had infallibility in his knowledge, in his wisdom and everything. He couldn't make any mistakes. Why is it that you know something that he didn't know? If Muawiyah was a munafiq, why did he call him a Muslim?
I would like to ask
Or
you
my brother in Islam.
one
Why?
question- one
Explain
question.
to me why.
So the letters,
Explain to me
the
why.
letters I just gave you back. The letters I just gave you back. The letters you gave a letter about because whenever you understand the context, everyone writes a letter in the context. Don't take a letter out of context.
Thank you
You
very
are
much.
definitely taking out of context.
You're
Whenever you look
taking
at
out
Najm al-Agha, because
you're taking one statement. Oh look, he
One
said you're
statement.
fighting me
One
because of
statement.
four
That's what you're
pretexts.
doing. That's what you're doing.
Doesn't
You
prevent
took
it.
one. You took one.
No.
You took one.
No. Listen. I'm saying. Ali said clear cut. We had to fight our brothers in Islam. That's the default position. That he's a brother in Islam. You're saying no. Wait. He said that you fought him because of false pretext. Brother, it doesn't make you right. It doesn't make you munafiq. Oh yeah, okay, khalas. In
I
worst
want to
case,
ask you one question
in
based on
worst
that.
case,
Can I reply to that?
In worst case, that
Can I
makes
reply to that?
Muawiyah wrong in his ijtihad.
Can I reply to that? After Imam Ali passed away.
Now
alayhi
answer
salam.
that. Answer that.
I am. I'm
Why
I'm replying
do you
it.
skip something clear cut?
I'm replying
Which
it
is
based on that.
muhkam,
I'm
You
replying-
go for the thing with his shubha.
No, no.
want
We
shubha.
had
I
that.
want shubha.
Your shubha.
Everybody-
we're
you
muhkam.
believe in shubha.
Every
You are
belief
going
you
for
gave a
the
shubha.
ambiguous.
You gave one. You
You
gave
had
one.
a clear-cut sermon
Okay.
where he said he's the brother in Islam. You go to the ambiguous and said no. Fourth
Okay,
pretext.
brothers in Islam. Okay,
Yes, explain that.
after the war, leave. Okay, the brothers in Islam.
No,
yeah?
no, stick
Okay,
to that.
okay. Let's just say.
I want you to
He is
quote
speaking.
that.
So do you want me to quote the letter again to you then? The
Which
reply.
one? Which one?
The letter you've quoted in one
No,
letter that
stick
you
to the
said.
one that I
can
read.
send you another letter then. So what's the point?
Why do you want to skip that one?
So your position.
Why do you, Baba,
So you're
okay,
trying to quote.
was
a
Ali
position-
infallible, yes or no?
Oh, gee,
Was he
you-
infallible?
you know our
He was
position.
ma'asum. Okay, could he make a mistake?
No.
Thank you. Did he know whether or not Muawiyah was a munafiq?
course he
Really?
did, of course he
Okay. Is a brother in Islam a munafiq?
I want to ask you a
Is
question in reply to
Is
that.
a brother in Islam
I
munafiq,
want to
yes or
ask you a
no?
question.
Wait, answer my question.
I am.
Is a
You're
brother
not letting
in
us speak.
Islam?
This is what you do
In
every
some
time.
cases.
You attempt to lose an
No,
argument.
I
You start
will-
shouting.
No, no, no,
You do this every time.
No, it's
I notice
important.
you do this every
No, no,
time.
it's not-
You're
Zain,
preaching.
Zain,
Let us
Zain,
reply.
Zain,
Let
Zain,
us reply.
Zain, it's very important. Is a Muslim called a brother in Islam?
Okay,
Yes or no?
so after the
Can I respond?
Is someone who's a munafiq? Do you call him a brother in Islam? Yes or no?
Can I respond to that?
Yes, go on. Answer.
After Safin, I want to ask you a question.
No, answer me.
In regards,
Answer my question.
Can I reply?
If someone is a munafiq, do we call him a brother in
can
Islam?
I respond to that point?
What if the person's
Are you
acting like they're
answering my
Muslim?
point?
What if the person acting like they're Muslim? Then what do you do?
Ah, so taqiyya. He was lying. That's not taqiyya.
I said Muawiyah's acting like he's a Muslim. I said Muawiyah's acting like he's a Muslim.
Okay, so wait.
You're obsessed with the gaya, bro.
So
I
why did
think
Ali
you're
call
so
him?
Shiite.
Why did Ali call him brother in Islam?
The person is acting like he's a Muslim. Do you not get that?
He's acting like
what
he's a
you're
Muslim.
saying.
Muawiyah's acting like he's a Muslim.
Hang on. Did Ali say that?
After him fighting Imam Ali is proof.
I'm not interrupting you, but you're in the same circle all night. Can you just run a question?
circle
I need
all
to know how many sons Ali has.
Ajib, don't go into.
Let's not go into that. Okay, we're talking about
We can talk
Muawiyah.
later on. We can talk about.
Let's talk about
we can
this
talk
later.
the whole nafs
I
about.
want to ask one more
Listen.
question. You cut me on. Let me ask one question. I want to ask you one more question.
But you
What
don't answer
is
my
your-
question, by the way.
I'm
You don't answer
answering
my
that question.
Okay, so you don't answer my
Post
question.
John, post Safin. One more question. What is your ruling on anybody who curses? 1 second. What is your ruling on anybody who curses Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Forget companions.
Anyone who curses
Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
is a kafir.
He's a kafir.
Yes.
Rasulullah said, anyone who curses Ali curses me.
Is it?
Rasulullah said,
Anyone who curses
Mustadrak al-Hakim.
Yes.
Whoever curses Ali, Muawiyah done it. Muawiyah done it. Muawiyah done it. Proof. I'll give you proof. Let's bring the 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 proof now. Let's bring the proof now. Let's bring the proof.
Muawiyah curses Ali.
If Muawiyah curses Ali, did he?
Muawiyah curses Ali.
Now did Muawiyah curse Ali? Yes or no?
Yes or no?
Did Muawiyah curse Ali after Safin?
Prove it.
Did he? Yes or no?
What's your claim?
Prove it.
If he did,
I will.
No, prove it.
What is your ruling if I prove it?
Okay. Listen. Prove it first, and then.
No.
discuss it.
I know you're going to jump as
First-
soon as I proved it.
No.
So give me your ruling
Listen,
first, and then I'll
listen.
prove it.
Okay. Listen. If you don't want to prove it,
I will.
Let's say.
No.
let's
I will
say-
prove it.
Let's say he did curse it.
Yes.
Let's say that makes him munafiq. Yes.
You said it is.
No.
You said it does.
you're saying it is.
You said it does.
No, you're
You
saying
said
it is.
anybody who curses Prophet Muhammad is a kafir.
I'm saying.
I gave you the hadith. Anyone who curses Ali curses me.
I'm saying.
Is he a kafir?
I'm saying that look, you can always find some hadith or something like this that says, look, Muhammad did this, look, Muhammad did that.
Answer the question.
Based upon the hadith,
Answer the
Muhammad
question.
said, whoever curses Ali curses me. You can find instances, but look, we take
Now.
all the hadiths in abundance and we extrapolate understanding from all the hadiths, not just a single one here and there that you're doing. I'm saying to you this, let's say for argument's sake that Muawiyah did curse Ali.
He did, and he
Okay,
instituted the
let's
cursing.
say he did.
He
Let's
done
say
both.
did. Why did Ali call him a brother in Islam?
In regard, that he cursed him after Safin. How about that?
He cursed him after Safin.
Yes, he did. He cursed him
Okay.
after Safin.
Would Ali, being the infallible
He
super
cursed
Power
him.
Ranger,
No.
he know everything. He even knows
I
when
said-
he's gonna die. He even know when he's gonna die.
Another topic.
You can
Another
jump.
topic.
No.
Jump
The
it.
Isma.
Jump it.
No.
Let's keep jumping to
Let's make it very clear because you
What's Isma have to do
understand.
with that? We
Your,
proved
it
it.
has. I'll tell you why. Because as you believe in the Isma is that the 12 Imams
gonna
are
start
infallible.
now.
They know the unseen. They control every atom in the universe. All these khurafat.
we proved
all the
it.
khurafat and all these things.
Inshallah, it's
So
only a
Ali
discussion between
radiallahu
us
anhu, who
three.
even know when he's gonna die.
Let's finish.
Would he have known after Siffin whether or not Muawiyah would curse him, yes or no? Would he have known it?
I'm going to
Answer my question. Would he have known it, yes
keep
or no?
you keep jumping.
I'm not, bro. I'm answering
Yeah,
your.
you did.
I
You're
am.
jumping
Listen,
topics.
I'm answering your point. Would Ali, who's an infallible power, so I don't want to.
You are insulting. You keep doing
okay,
it.
I'm sorry. I'm
Because
sorry.
obviously
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you
I'm
are.
sorry.
Yeah, yeah,
Ali,
you are.
who's infallible, I don't want to mock because Ali, we love Ali.
And
we
you just mocked him 2
Yeah,
minutes
calm
ago.
down.
Okay, I apologize. I apologize.
So apologise to Ali.
Okay.
Yeah, go on.
No, well, we love Ali, by the way. Yeah?
I can see that.
I'm saying, according to you, Ali, radiallahu anh, he was
Power Rangers.
infallible.
Astaghfirullah. These
Okay.
Power Rangers.
No, I'm saying.
Astaghfirullah, bro. You
Okay,
guys have a lot of love
anyway,
for him.
anyway, carry on. So,
Anyway,
okay, Ali knew.
finished. We
Would-
finished.
Wait.
We cry for Hussein. You cry for Muawiyah. How's that?
We don't. Baba.
At least Hussein had a grave. Muawiyah has no
Leave
trace
the
of a
line.
grave.
Leave the line.
Okay.
Anyway, I think, brother.
Anyway, we
Abdul
believe
just to
Hussein.
move on.
We
Let's
believe
move on.
Hussein.
We don't.
Radiallahu
On a
anhu.
talk.
Radiallahu
Okay, go back,
anhu
go back.
was more superior than Muawiyah.
Okay,
in Al-Sunnah, by
you
the way,
believe that?
yeah?
That's fine.
We believe that he was not superior.
That's fine.
Okay,
Based
yeah?
in our
We
heart.
are the real Shia of Ali, by the way. You're laughing. You're laughing. Takbir! That's it, mashallah.
We're
That's
trying
all
to
right.
make a Fatima.
I want. Ya Ali! Takbir! Astaghfirullah. Hussein never said labbaik ya Hussein. Hussein said labbaik ya Allah, ya labbaik.
No.
Yeah, labbaik ya Allah.
When you say
Okay,
back to
okay,
Hussein,
okay.
we swore allegiance
Astaghfirullah.
to Hussein.
Okay. One point. We've got to the
We
point.
swear allegiance.
No, let me just speak now. Let me speak now. You said after we discussed Adalat al-Sahaba, you were going to discuss Tawheed. I want to conclude this topic of Adalat al-Sahaba. It's finished. I want
No,
us
it's
to
not
discuss
finished. It's not
Tawheed.
finished. We're talking
He's
about.
running from
We're
Tawheed.
just getting there.
2 hours you're running from
just getting
Tawheed.
there.
For 2 hours you have been running
I
from
want you
Tawheed.
to say to me.
For 2 hours, Aki.
No.
For 2 hours.
Zayn.
I know you're running from
I'm
Tawheed.
not- Baba,
I know.
How can I
I
run
know.
from the Shia?
You are.
Why you love
can
He's
I
Hussein
running
so
from
much?
Tawheed.
How can I run away from the
You're
people?
running from Tawheed.
This is labbaik ya Hussein, ya labbaik. What kind of Tawheed
You're
is
running
this?
from Tawheed.
What kind of Tawheed is this?
Let's talk about Tawheed.
We say ya Allah,
he's
this is
preaching,
labbaik ya Hussein.
It's our time
What
right
kind
now.
of Tawheed is this?
We love
What kind of Tawheed?
you're
When
not
you
giving
say
a
ya,
Jummah- you're not giving a Jummah-
we love a man who Malaika loved him.
Oh really?
Yes.
Really?
Allah and Malaika loved him.
He has to debate Tawheed. You shook my hand
No, we
and you
will,
said
we
you
will,
promised
we
me
will.
it's going to be Maghrib. I
if-
want to debate Tawheed before
Zayn,
Maghrib.
if
You said you would debate me.
Allahumma
It's been
salli
2
ala
hours.
Muhammad.
Yeah, let's move on.
You ask when you
If we
pray.
do not debate Tawheed today, next week.
No,
definitely.
I want to debate Tawheed
I want
today.
us to establish this now.
Why are you scared of Tawheed, Aki?
Baba, how can I
Bro,
be?
listen.
Yeah.
This, we're going to be here all night. It's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
be dark.
We are.
Yeah.
The brother's battery is going to die out anyway. His
Yeah.
recording. Inshallah, we'll
By the
do.
way, why come you don't release any
Next
more
time.
films in
Next Muharram.
the channel? Why?
No.
1 month.
Took a little break, man.
1 month,
we'll
man.
do-
You're giving up already.
What we'll do, inshallah, if I can, I will try to come with this
Yeah,
brother
that's
next
fine, I
time,
appreciate
next
it,
week,
Sayyid, I appreciate that.
And the other thing we discussed,
Yeah.
we'll talk about that afterwards.
Okay, inshallah. No
But say, do we not
And
want to
are we
discuss
done?
Tawheed today?
No, I
No,
want.
there's no time. You're going to
listen.
be here for all night.
Tawheed
Come
is
on,
very
kiss him,
smart.
mate.
I know, I agree with you. It is very
He gave me
important.
his word that he would discuss after
Listen,
the Sahaba.
if we start Tawheed now, we're going to be at the Isha.
No, it's
I
not.
promise
It
you.
Give me your
won't
word.
be.
Give me your word next week.
Next week, definitely.
Give me your
We
word.
here
It's
next
on
week?
camera. It's
I
on
am.
camera.
We do next week, I promise.
Tawheed next week.
Okay,
It's on
Tawheed
camera.
next week.
It's on
But anyway,
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
no problem.
Allahumma salli ala.
Ya Allah.
You do it in your prayer.